Hey there, all of the three people watching. Uh, hey,
No, it's
we're
not
doing.
from, but I thought it would just be fun.
Hey, we're doing uh a two post 2 a.m. Eastern time live. That's probably the latest, definitely the latest we've ever started, but um all kinds of stuff going on that slowed me down. I was so tired earlier. I couldn't even stay awake, and I got 9.5 hours of sleep yesterday. So I don't know. Sometimes the exhaustion just hits me. Maybe from all the, well, I know it's probably all the pain that I'm in all the time. It catches up to me, and it's like, and I was trying to get ready
Mhm.
for this live, but I was struggling to stay awake. I had to eat some chocolate to wake myself up. Um,
So now we're doing this the opposite way. We got to pump ourselves up at 3 a.m. as opposed to trying to do it at 10 p.m.
Yeah. Well, I was falling asleep around 10 p.m. trying to get ready for this. Yeah. So anyway, we're only covering one episode instead of two, and it's Duster, which we don't have to dissect the hell out of like we do with
Mhm.
From. So it should be good. We're going to be covering episode 5 of Duster. So I believe it's episode 5, if I'm not mistaken. Let
Mhm.
me see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's episode
it's number 5.
number 5. I thought so. So, and it has a very odd title. It's what is it? I looked it up. Something about glory, something about glory, like blazing glory or something. Um I think it had something to do with the fact that it took place on the 4th of July, but yeah, it's Ravishing Light and Glory. I have no idea why it's called that, but other than something to do with the 4th of July, set the glory thing, I don't know. Maybe it's a reference to something that I'm not familiar with, but um to be honest, it wasn't my favorite episode. I love this show. It's awesome. I really enjoy it. I'd say it's the weakest to date. I think the first 4 episodes were much better, much more um I mean, less light on filler. They had less filler. I felt that there was some filler in this, and I do think that what happened may pay off later. They may be setting things up, most likely that will pay off later. So, regardless, it'll be a fun show to cover as always.
I
And
have a fun fact.
oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah, the title comes from a letter from John Adams to Abigail Adams. I looked it up.
Oh, okay. That's
It
that's
might go with the
cool.
4th of July theme.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, it's awesome. So, um,
I like Samuel Adams better.
yeah. Um, so hey Dieter, nice to see you. I said not able to listen. Need to work with a colleague the entire day. I'm feeling a bit down. Sending love and hugs. Well, sending love and hugs right back. Um, hope your day goes better. Looking forward to the replay anyway, just to hear your voice. So, I hope it helps. I hope it helps cheer you up. He said I tried uploading a clip from Duster making of and Mark's cameo, but it's via the phone. Oh, that's okay. No problem. I see some stuff here. I'm not sure what this is. It's got a bunch of numbers on it as the names. So I'll have to take a look and see what's up with that. Mark's cameo. Mark? Wait, who's Mark? I think this happened before. He said Mark, and I was like, "Who's Mark?" And it was supposed to be something else. I think it's a typo. Um, I don't remember, but hi Doc. Nice to see you. He said we have more likes than viewers. Yeah, probably should have just postponed till tomorrow night, but oh well, it's all right. Hey Steve, nice to see you. Um, yeah, yeah, you should have used the chicken. You should have tried summoning with the chicken. Uh, no, he actually couldn't because I didn't make the stream until like an hour ago. So there wasn't any place where he could try his chicken summoning ritual. So Doc said I'm starting to think there was never a chicken. Yeah. um So what did he say? No kings, but the king of the monsters. Wait, wrong channel for that. Oh yeah. I'm guessing some kind of I'm not sure what that's a reference to. Something about dinosaurs or something. I don't know. No kings, but the king in yellow. Yeah, that's fitting for this channel. King in yellow. A lot of people have wondered if it's an influence on From, which we also cover a great deal. Hey James, nice to see you. And Samuel, no kings. Oh, I know why you're saying no kings. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Yep. Let's just say I completely agree with that sentiment, and I'll leave it there. No fucking kings. Period. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry, Dieter. Shit day yesterday, down today. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things get better today. Hey there, can't be serious. What's up? Julie B, what is that? WTW, what the what? I think just showing some love. Hey, thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. Thank you. Can't be serious. They're from over at Koala T Reacts community. I'm unless my brain is malfunctioning, I'm pretty sure that's I'm kind of foggy tonight. I've been really tired, but it's really nice to see you. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Koala T's community is so kind and amazing. I love it. He is the best. Brian has created an amazing community of kind people over there, and it just goes to show what can happen when you model kindness. You attract kind people, and it spreads, and then you see that the ripple effect, and the people in the community, you see them being kind to each other, supporting each other all on their own. That's what I'm trying to do here too, and I love when I see that happening in the chat, people supporting each other, and we're here for anyone who's struggling too. Dieter and anyone else who's struggling, we're always here to cheer you up, whatever we can do. Lean on each other, share in the chat. You can talk about your problems. We can always take a break from whatever it is we're talking about and be there to support you. Same as Brian does, aka Koala, over on Koala T's channel. Doc said, as much as I wish our great King Ghidorah could beat Godzilla, it hasn't happened in any timeline I've observed. Thankfully, your timeline has no Godzilla and your Earth is ripe for the taking. Okay, well, we're gonna be invaded soon. Yes, Doc has duly warned us, so we will be waiting for that unfortunate invasion incoming. Oh, Mark Pellegrino. I always forget his first name, Dieter. Okay, Mark Pellegrino. Yep. I always just think of him as Jacob. I see him as Jacob. I forget his name is Mark. Amazing cameo from Mark. Lovely. Can't be serious. Yeah. What's the word? Okay, what's the word? I don't know. All the right terminology for things. I'm still learning just by following Rap React channels. I've had to learn a lot of new terminology and phrases that I didn't know before, but I'm getting there. Yes, sir. Indeed. Yes, sir. Tuck Everlasting fits more with From than King in Yellow. Yeah, I completely agree, Samuel. I think Tuck Everlasting, it has a lot more common themes, indeed. Yeah, I haven't read King in Yellow either, Doc. Yeah. Yeah. But Doug did, and he didn't see any parallels to From, FYI. Can't be serious. Thank you for popping in. It's great to see you. Normally we have more people than this, but I had a comedy of errors yesterday. I won't bore you with the long story, but it was ridiculous. I tried to go to bed a lot earlier, and I thought I finally fixed my sleep schedule, or at least got close to fixing it by a lot. And then I set an alarm for the wrong day and slept for like 9.5 hours. So yeah, everything got screwed up, and I wound up being tired on excess sleep, which is weird. Like, apparently if you get too much sleep, you can be tired as a result of that. It's too little sleep, too much sleep. Either way, you're tired. You need to find that balance in between. And I screwed up big time. Yeah. That's why there are less people. That's why I made the stream so late. Because a lot of people probably just assume we're not even doing this live tonight at this point. We never start at 2 a.m. Eastern. The latest we ever started was 1, but we're here anyway. And people who miss it, they can always check out the replay. We'll do better next week. I'm going to really try hard this week to make some changes and get my sleep schedule a bit more normal and enjoy daytime and not waste it sleeping. what, what lies in the shadow of the statue? I really need to get more Lost viewing in so I can find out the answer to that question, because it's really frustrating trying to figure out what's happening on that show right now. I'm enjoying it though. Season 6 of Lost. Mark Pellegrino is Lucifer to me. Oh, really? Oh, okay. He played Lucifer. He played Lucifer? Really? I didn't know that. Wait, there's a show, Lucifer. That's not the one you're talking about, is it, Samuel? Because I don't remember. I never saw it, but I've seen promo stuff, and I don't remember him looking like that. But I could be wrong.
Well, he's not. He wouldn't be Lucifer in that show because the main character is Lucifer in that show. Maybe it's in something else.
It must be.
Oh, Sam says it's in Supernatural.
Oh, okay. And Supernatural. I've never seen that. I've heard it's a good show. I don't know. I've read about it a little bit. It doesn't really seem like it would be up in my wheelhouse or like my thing, but who knows? I've thought about checking that one out. Hey, Muncher Luncher. Didn't know this was happening. Just started watching Lost, and bruh, Holloway is beautiful, and I'm a straight dude. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, he's a beautiful man, you know. He is. Even now. Yeah, he's aging like a fine wine. But what I love the most is his acting ability and his charisma, you know, like his personality. He's an incredible actor. He really is. Samuel is always on the Jack better than Sawyer thing. We all have our own preferences. I'm Team Sawyer. Jack gets on my nerves, but no hate, no hate. He's just for me, kind of annoying. What up, fuckers? Okay. All right. What up to you? That's one way to say hello. That's a greeting. Steve. Muncher Luncher says if Holloway showed up in Fromville, his aura would rip open a portal through the space-time and enable everyone to escape. Just one smoldering look should do it. Yeah, you get that about right. He's got that down pat. He's got the patented Holloway smoldering look, which he uses in this show too. Doc said I had coffee to stay up for the stream a bit, and I don't watch the show. I just like hanging out with you all. Aw, thank you. That's really sweet of you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Doc. We're not going to be on as long this time, or need to be anyway, because we're only going to be breaking down one episode instead of two the last 2 weeks. This should be about half the length of the last 2 weeks, because we have less ground to cover, and it's not as complex of a show as like a mystery box kind of thing. Lucifer was fun, but I have a hard time getting into those kind of shows. Yeah, that one didn't appeal to me either, Doc. Something my fiance and my ex are both into. I enjoyed what I saw of it. I just prefer other content. But Steve, no, don't be sorry. I thought it was funny. Go ahead, enjoy your gummies and be extra, whatever you want to do. You're funny. No worries. Doc said if Holloway showed up in Fromville, he'd put Randall in his place and butt heads with Boyd. Yep, he would. He'd steal Acosta and turn her into a bad girl. Probably. Yeah. Panda, you like gummy bears, huh? Okay. So not gummies like the kind Steve partakes in, but just gummy bears.
What kind does he partake in exactly?
The more what do you call it? Hallucinogenic.
Adult gummies?
Adult, yeah, adult. Yeah. That's
No, I'm already on so many drugs. I can't add another.
yeah. Legal ones, just to be clear. Legal.
Sure.
Legal prescribed things. Same. I'm on prescriptions myself, so I can't I can't add stuff. I don't drink either. I tried gummies for pain years ago and it didn't help. So Muncher said, "Real talk, I'm still fish and loaves till the end." Holloway wouldn't change that. Oh, yeah. Well, fish and loaves, yeah, Mr. Fish and Loaves, Harold. I mean, nobody can beat him. He's the best of the best in From. Anyway, so let's get into the episode, um, which started with an incredible Nixon lookalike. I mean, this had to be AI. Like Panda, don't you think? You said you think this is AI, right? Or
Yeah.
like,
When when I watch it again, it's I'm pretty sure it is.
yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, look at that. It's identical to him. Um, Now, I didn't put the captions up to to show like what exactly he was saying, but it was just a really brief scene. I was so not expecting that. Um, I mean, the previous episode, I guess we have to expect the unexpected with this show because the previous one started with Looney Tunes. It made it look like a Looney Tunes cartoon was starting, and this time we get Nixon, looked exactly like him, and I didn't look. Let me Google. I didn't look up to see if someone was playing him or if they just put him in using AI. Now I'm curious. Hold on. Duster. Um, let's see. Did they use somebody and then they AI'd his face? Or Paul Wilson portrays Richard Nixon. Let me Google Paul Wilson. 'Cause now I'm curious.
I bet you he's
Paul,
not gonna look anything like him.
yeah. Let's see. Actor. Oh yeah, yeah. There's a passing resemblance, but it's nothing like what we saw in the show. There's a passing resemblance, but it's not like that. Let me see. I'll see if I can pull it up on here. Um so they probably just got someone who has a passing resemblance to stand in for him, and then they AI'd his face, which is creepy actually. Uh how accurate it is, and to do that with people who are deceased, it always kind of creeps me out. It's like they can't consent to you using their image however you want. But yeah, so like yeah, this is the guy. I found him, and there's a there's a little bit of a resemblance, but I don't care how much makeup you put on this guy's face, he's not he is not going to look like he is not identical to Nixon at all. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, no way.
So,
If you were to watch it again in real time, you'd see sort of the AI CGI ish kind of like look on his face when you watch it again.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's still a technology that's a work in progress. It's getting better at an alarming rate. But you can usually tell when something is AI still, not always. The scary thing is sometimes there are deep fakes that are perfect, but like we're seeing less and less of like the weird stuff, extra fingers, and when amateurs do it, obviously you're going to see more of those issues. For a TV show, they're going to have it as perfect as possible. But yeah, that was interesting, and there's some kind of conspiracy going on in the show itself. Like, Watergate seems to be happening in the background. There's a news report during I'm going to go back to the episode where they're talking about breaking into the Democratic headquarters, which is Watergate. So it's happening in the background, and so it's interesting that's kind of happening on a parallel track to whatever conspiracy is going on here in this, so there's like the FBI, potentially the CIA, um, in on some kind of a cover up happening regarding Joey's death, Joey Ellis. And the big question is what is going on? Why are they covering up this event? Why are they like maybe they it's possible they were trying to frame Saxton to finally take him down, because there were multiple attempts to take him down that failed. They tried, we heard in previous episodes that they raided his place, they raided him multiple times and they were not able to take him down, the crime boss. So maybe they're fake, maybe they were responsible for the hit on Joey and they're framing him. So that's one possibility. But whatever it is, there is definitely some sort of conspiracy going on. And so, yeah, it's interesting that they have Watergate going on in the background, like another, a huge scandal going on involving the government. My mom is. Hold on a second. I have to mute myself. My mom is yelling.
Yeah, maybe it really was just Nixon. Maybe he just rose from the dead and acted on a JJ Abrams show. That makes sense, right, guys? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Yeah, we're all just Doc. We're contemplating whether Nixon came back to life to be in this show. So we're all kind of introspective about it. Oh, and I saw Stevens. I saw that like Tupac was on stage, right? His hologram, but I heard like at Coachella or something. But didn't the hologram get shot too? Is that what I saw? Yeah, Steve, you may have to break out that chicken to bring Julie back. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. We may have to get some chickens in the chat. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what sport Coach Ella does either, but that was pretty fucked up what she did to Tupac. You know, R.I.P. Yeah, we need chickens, salmon, crows, whatever you got. Any kind of poultry or avian variety. I think will possibly bring Julie back. Yeah, Muncher. Julie was called away, so we're all in a holding pattern, waiting for her to come back, to come back to the duster, to dust it off, as it were. If I had some preloaded like hold music, I might play it right now. You know, the girl from Ipanema or something like that. Just imagine that in your head, if you guys could. Yeah, I guess shrimp will have to do. I don't know how that'll affect. How that'll affect how she comes back. Maybe it'll be of a more fishy nature. I don't know. I don't know. As far as rap goes, I'm not much of a rapper. I just remember back in the day, you know, knick knack, paddywhack, give a slob a bone. No, don't give him nothing but a bullet to his. You guys finish a rhyme. Funny you say Phantom of the Opera. I had that was the name of my cat. His name was Phantom because is the sort of pattern on his face. He had half of his face was all white, so that was a great memory. He was a great cat. R.I.P. for Phantom. Oh, thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. He lived a long time though. He was 15, and his brother Tigrido, he lived to be 17. And I think I posted a couple pictures of those guys in the Discord. But I could send you some as well. But they lived a long time. I miss them very much. I hear some rustling, guys. Here
Sorry
she
about
comes. Here
that.
she comes. She's back. Thank you. The shrimp
My
work. The shrimp
mom
work, guys.
was telling me about some medical news that she got and got held up. Sorry about that. I kept trying to, tell her we can talk more about this later. Uh, anyway, um, so um, sorry guys. Doc said Elvis didn't die; he multiplied. Maybe the same with Nixon, or am I misunderstanding how things work on your planet? um, Steve said Nixon never died. He lives on an island with Biggie and Tupac. Oh God, there's a there's a great there's a great, what was it, conspiracy theory. Um, Doc, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe Scarlett had to step away for a few minutes, and my mom was calling me. Um, but thanks for sticking around and waiting. Um, yeah, this is kind of a train wreck before it even starts, huh? I'm starting at 2 a.m. It's already a train wreck. I don't know who this Coach Ella is, but if she shot at Tupac, she's gonna have some issues with Papa Nixon when he hears about this. Yeah.
I
I
was I was I was
um,
talking to Julie. I was talking to the chat while you were gone. So we were talking
Chickens with a
about
big cock. That's funny. You need the sacrificial virgin chicken of summoning. Say less, bro. Yeah. I'm all out of chicken and other forms of poultry. Would tempura shrimp suffice? Yeah, you could try that. Uh, oh, you guys are funny. Rap for us. Sing the female part of the Phantom of the Opera theme. Oh man. Um, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, she's all right. There's just some concerning things going on medically, but she's all right. Yeah, I can't hear you, Carl. I can't hear you. You're muted. Um, no worries. Just try going out and coming back in again. So
you
yeah,
can't hear me?
getting back to the episode. Just starting the breakdown here. So it starts with an unexpected scene with none other than Nixon. And yeah, so yeah, you've got these two guys saying they want an emergency confab. You realize that they're in the White House. Something about somebody's forgotten protocols and purviews. And yeah, so they're talking about Bureau, send the bill to Langley. One of them says, someone named Sullivan says, yeah, you're doing a great job in Vietnam. Another one says, yeah, fuck you very much. So it's just kind of banter. We don't really know like what they're talking about or the context of it. And then someone named Ewing says, I'm on the stream right now. So okay. So this guy says, sir, we came as soon as we could. She'll come in when she's ready. He says, sir, we came as soon as we could. And then you come around the corner and you see it's Nixon. I was not expecting that. He's like, gentlemen, we've got a big fucking problem. and Nixon was known to speak that way, in private. You never see, obviously, you don't see presidents cussing usually. Things have changed now, but you don't typically in the past, you don't see presidents cussing or hear presidents cussing, but they behind closed doors they totally do. Hold on, Carl, let me put you back on stage. Whoop. Why is it not working? Hold on, sorry, slow Chromebook. Okay. Okay, see if you can talk now. Hopefully that works.
Hi, how are you?
Were you trying to talk?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, it's not coming through. Not coming through. I don't know.
Can anyone
I don't
hear
know
me in the
why.
chat?
Yeah, and you're not using a different device than usual. It's the same device. It's the phone, I think. Wait. Steve can hear you. Okay, try talking again. Try
Hi,
talking.
hi, how are you?
Okay, I hear you now. My StreamYard was being weird. I don't know. I just changed some settings and now I can hear you. StreamYard does weird things sometimes. Okay. So it said everybody was quiet for a while. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but my mom was talking to me anyway.
I tried to entertain everybody as best as I could. We were talking about the Tupac hologram being shot at Coachella. So that's some of what you were seeing there.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't even know about that. Wow, that's crazy. Gee, what the fuck? It wasn't bad enough that he got killed for real. You're going to shoot at the hologram? That's fucked. Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's horrible. But that, like just imagine like, you know, any family members that he has, like how they would feel about that. Like, what the fuck? Sure, he's got like relatives or somebody. Like, that's fucked up. Decipher said, "I wish I was well, Israel." And by the way, thank you for for entertaining them while I was gone. So
No problem.
yeah, it's my mom forgets sometimes. Like I'm doing a live stream. I can talk later. That was not a good time, but she got some medical results she's concerned about. And so I wanted to talk more about it, but then she was just repeating the same stuff. I'm like, okay, if you don't have any more information, we'll talk later. She's got to call her doctor tomorrow, or yeah, I guess tomorrow morning. Hey Trace, nice to see you. Okay, so that was just me. It was something wrong with my settings. It was my device that was the problem, not him. It was my fault. Anyway, hold on. So that was the opening to the episode. Just it's completely unexpected. I guess it would be cool if they're just gonna surprise us with every episode. The last episode opened with Looney Tunes. This episode we've got Nixon all of a sudden. So anyway, let me get back to my images here so we can go through. Now they changed the opening title sequence, which I didn't even notice that, but apparently they've been making minor changes all over the place. And I didn't even realize it until this one, because this one had major changes. So I'm watching it and I love the intro. It's, a bunch of toy cars and stuff. Bunch of toy cars and like there's this thing. What is this car? I forget what it's called, but what is this? Carl,
That's like that's like the Aeromobile or something like that. It has like a boat tail. It's that one from that episode. Remember, with the blade?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So they have it in the back of a tractor trailer for some reason.
But it's in a display box as though you were gonna buy it from the store or something, which is kind of cool since it's a toy car, right?
Little Hot Wheels kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
1936.
Yeah. So, and then this is different too. This right, Carl, this blue car. This wasn't going. Was this there before next to the Duster?
Yeah. But what they sort of eliminated some different things, like when you see the blue suede shoes, and then you see the Rolodex. Like they added the Rolodex and like eliminated the cars jumping over.
Yeah. Yeah, so they've got this is Jim's dad's Rolodex, his trusty Rolodex. And they got some other stuff. Was this there before? I don't remember this.
I don't remember this.
The Rolodex or the
looks like an explosion.
I think the explosion at the warehouse has always been there. So that I think we're gonna eventually see that. I think because Izzy, or she's a truck driver, so I'm figuring something's gonna go down there eventually.
Okay. So there's that. Now there's helicopters. I think you said, Carl, that there weren't helicopters before, right?
Well, what I was saying is in the show we haven't seen like the TV helicopters chase anybody. So I'm thinking that's like eventually we're gonna see an explosion in the warehouse and potentially some kind of like car chase on the news kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's kind of like in Severance, they didn't do something different every time, but in the Severance season 2 opening credits, they had like clues and hints as to what was going to happen that season. So they planted stuff in this too, stuff that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I think we're getting hints for the future, and also they're adding stuff that they didn't want to give away, like the Rolodex is the one that sticks out of my head.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And that part where the blue car was driving right next to the Duster, was that there before? I don't remember now.
Yeah,
But
when I rewatched them, it was. I thought maybe it wasn't, but it
okay.
was. I think it was there that whole time.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, I like how they're like making some changes to it and adding little details and nuances. And and this end part is different. Now it's night and there are fireworks going off. So yeah, I
Nice.
liked how they changed it up.
For
Yeah.
July theme.
Yep. 4th of July theme. I like that. Yeah. Uh it starts with Sax screaming at Jim for giving away that priceless car. He gave that away, in place of the I forget why. Wait, why did he give it away? It was
It
I
was
forget.
to save his own life from the blade. He basically bought the blade off by giving him
Yeah,
the car, right?
yeah. So he gave him that. They made a deal with him, and he can't even tell Sax the real reason why, because the whole reason the blade was after him was because he was running to Mexico originally he was gonna work for Raul, that he was gonna work for Raul down there because he was, the feds were on his tail, and yeah, so and the feds were aware of the organ transfer across state lines and stuff. They wanted him to work with them. He couldn't even tell Sax the real reason why he did this. So Sax is just screaming at him, um, and like at the same time, and he's scary when he screams too. By the way, he's terrifying. Yeah, like he has this duality where he's like a teddy bear at some moments where he's so sweet and cuddly and like even emotional, and then at other moments he's just like he's terrifying. He's not someone you want to fuck with. So you don't want to get on his bad side. And then this is this guy, I guess, so he was away for like a couple weeks. In fact, hold on, I have ones with captions so I can get the exact context, but like he basically says, I'm away for 2 weeks and all this. He's not happy with the way that Nina has been handling things, doing things against orders. He says, I'm away 2 weeks and this office goes to shit. Um, and he's not happy that she went and like visited with Breen, the guy who was previously on the Sachs case, and then Breen winds up dead shortly after. That's a bad look for them. Breen wound up supposedly killing himself after, but yeah, she entered a medical facility without proper authorization to harass a former respected bureau standout like Breen, who's now dead. She tries to defend herself, and he's just like, "Did I say you could speak?" It's awful. And then so they juxtapose that with Sax yelling at Jim. So you had your dick in your he said you had your dick in your hand while my boy was being molly-whopped by some vacuum slingers. You you better thank your sweet fucking baby Jesus that my boy is all right. He was talking about essentially, yeah, his Sax's son was about to get beaten down by those two idiots. Um, those two idiots who looked like Mormons. They looked like sweet Mormons with like bags over their heads, trying to steal that priceless car. And yeah, so Jim was off making a deal with the Blade in the background. Um, and yeah, he can't tell Sax the real reason why or what was going on with the Blade. Um, but yeah, his Sax's son can't defend himself for shit. I mean, those two idiots managed to steal the car from him, and yeah, they he wound up all right. But yeah, Sax said I could have lost him and $1 million car. So that car was like that car was worth $1 million. So yeah, he's in serious trouble. And then this guy, he's still laying into her. He keeps going back and forth. And she tries to tell him that Saxton is planning something with the Russians, and it's a big deal. Like, and she says she's within inches of that. She's getting closer. She's onto something here. So, but he's still furious. He's not listening. And yeah, she's treated so poorly by everybody in authority here. A lot of it, I think, is racism and sexism, and corruption in general, because a lot of these people are apparently corrupt. There's definitely a conspiracy and a cover-up going on in the FBI here. But she's begging him for a little more time. Just give me 48 more hours and this can work. And then meanwhile, Sachs is saying that his interpreter got arrested for tax fraud. So he needs a Russian interpreter for this upcoming meeting with the Russians. And that's going to pay off later. So that's a key piece of information there. In the meantime, though, he orders Ellis out. And this is big because Jim Ellis, he's like family to him, but he's telling him he's finished here. Get the fuck out. I mean, I knew there'd be huge fallout. You don't just give away $1 million car and get away with it like that. And he leaves the office, and this asshole is out here laughing at him. He thinks it's funny. He's such a dick. He's the guy. He's always being a dick to Jim. And then you hear a guy on the radio talking about the 4th of July holiday and, just reflecting on the patriotic meaning of it. And they refer actually in this radio report actually to John Adams summing up the meaning of this in a letter to his wife. So that's where we get the title from. And then he reads the quote on the radio. John Adams said, "I am well aware of the toil and blood and treasure that it will cost us to maintain this declaration. Yet through all the gloom, I can see the rays of ravishing light and glory." Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. That's where the title came in. It was in that quote. I didn't even connect it till now. Yeah. I can see that the end is more than worth all the means. That's a great quote. It's beautiful. Regarding the Declaration of Independence, and yeah. So that's cool, actually. Jim meets with Nina again in their usual spot in the weird parking garage, and he says that he's out. It's over. He was kicked out by Sachs, and she says, "Well, you got to get back in. Find a way back in." She's got to get. She has a plan regarding the Russian interpreter, and they've got to come up with a new plan because his interpreter just got picked up for tax fraud. And it turns out, well, she made that happen. She's going to be the interpreter. She speaks fluent Russian. And he has these funny comebacks, just like Sawyer on Lost. What are you, the fucking IRS now? Why get him arrested? She says, I'm going to be his new interpreter. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you speak Russian. And she starts fluently speaking Russian, and just very smugly. So.
Julie dropped out. Don't know where she is.
We need some chickens or shrimp or whatever. Whenever it needs to be sacrificed, bring her back.
You got anything to promo? I do The Librarians on Sci-Fi Vision on Thursdays at 11 p.m. EST, and I have a watch party before. if anybody wants to do that. We
No.
also have a from, I'm not sure if it's a from Rewatch party on Wednesdays, but we'll either have that or Doug Hughes on, and that's on this channel.
Yeah, I think Doug is coming through. At
Oh,
least that's what's penciled in, anyways.
that's what's penciled in. So on Wednesday, that happens around anywhere in between 10 p.m. and like 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, anywhere in between that time.
Show up early.
Right.
It's limited.
Yeah, show up early, stay for the veal after. If anyone's in Iowa, I'm here. I'm very funny. I'm very handsome. So if you need
Are you going to be performing in Iowa?
What's that?
You're going to be performing in Iowa?
Yeah. At least I try eventually to have a performance. But come on down. If anybody wants a corn on the cob or steaks, bring them. I'll cook them. You know what I'm saying? I can sing for my supper, as it were. So that's what I'm promoting. I'm promoting, health and good fortune for everyone. How's that?
Sounds good. I was in the middle of eating chips. This went down.
Corn chips? Are they corn chips?
They are not corn chips. They are pita chips.
My condolences.
Oh, I love pita chips. They're garlic. They're delicious. Let's see. What else we got going on Fridays? We got Doc coming in with some FROMacademy. I'm pretty sure we're going to finish up the monster studies that we started.
That was pretty cool. Like documenting them all and denoting all their different kills and stuff. And then there was the whole like, is he a mechanic? Is he a tough guy? Maybe he's a tough guy mechanic. That was cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I fell asleep, so I don't know how
many
of those
sorry
we got through.
Sorry.
Hey, Shadak, everybody.
Hi, Julie.
My Chromebook malfunctioned and restarted by itself for no reason. So there's a new one. It wasn't dead. It didn't die. It wasn't the Wi-Fi. It just restarted by itself. Nothing but tech problems always. Thanks for holding it down.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we were promoting your channel, and we were promoting some other stuff. Well, some librarians and whatnot. Yeah, that's right. Corn
and also
corn steaks. I was letting everybody know that I'm here in Iowa and I'm available for weddings and bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras as well.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for keeping people entertained. So anyway, let me get my pictures back. I think I'm overtaxing the Chromebook with too many files lately. Too many photos, too many screenshots. I think that's the problem. I need to delete them. Anyway, hopefully that won't happen again. Anyway, get my photos back up. Okay. So anyway, I'm just looking at the chat here. Steve said I used the last shrimp. We're down to the sacrificial virgin breakfast sausage of summoning. Yeah. And it worked. Yeah, you summoned me back. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Way to go, Steve. Okay. So anyway. So I was in the middle of saying, yeah, so she speaks Russian fluently, and she got that from her mother, who's a comparative lit professor, and she just taught her Russian as a kid. She thought it might be useful one day. So she learned how to read and speak Russian and German, and she needs to get him to get her in to be the interpreter for that meeting. And she suggests that they use his father since Sachs won't let him back in, his father is still a close friend. His father used to work for that organization, so they're gonna go through him. Sachs trusts him, and so he doesn't really like the idea of getting his pop involved, as he calls him. But he's, he says Sachs is his oldest friend, and he doesn't know what we know about Joey. So it's time that they fill him in. I think, yeah. He doesn't want to he wants to spare his father the heartbreak, but he didn't want to tell him till he knows for sure what happened to Joey, but she doesn't see any other way out of this. She's only been given 48 hours to make major progress in this case, or she's done. She's done there. So by that jerk who just came back. So yeah, either he does this or they're both fucked, is what she says. And so they're going with the plan. And they think that maybe his dad will help. His dad is Wade Ellis. His name is Wade. I always forget his name. He was Saxton's consigliere. Sorry, consigliere. Is that how you say it? I think.
Yeah, or consigliere.
Okay. For years. And so she's like Tom Hagen to Vito Corleone. So yeah, she's like, you haven't seen The Godfather? And he says no. So that would be like me. I'm not the only one who hasn't seen a classic film like that. I did. She says, you're a federal agent and you haven't seen The Godfather. Then he says, I'm messing with you. Okay, so he's not like me. He says, I saw it.
Julie, the difference the difference is, Julie, that at that moment in 1971, the Godfather had just come out. So it's a little different.
Okay, all right. So most people would have seen it at that point. He said he saw it 5 times. Yeah. So they walk by that asshole. We find out a big reveal about him later. This guy, he's in on the conspiracy for sure. That guy, I don't remember his name, but we'll get into that later. This woman here is one of the only people who actually helps them in this office, and she doesn't have the Jan Brady hair as much in this one. She doesn't have the curly cues. Usually they're like two little curly cues on each side, but still kind of Jan Brady-ish. She helps them out a lot. She's trying to get them to sign up for their softball league. I can't really picture Nina playing softball. She said, right now it's just me and Luella from accounting, she says.
They should have a later episode where they're playing softball.
Yeah. that would be whimsical. No, it would be kind of weird, but yeah, she wants them to join. Yeah, I like her. She's a cute, likable character. So then Nina meets with this guy again, and so they looked into it, and I guess the toxicology report came back on Breen after his I don't know, after he unalived himself, I guess the word is for YouTube. And apparently the hospital was giving him LSD. They were dosing him with acid, high dosages of acid, and there is no possible therapeutic reasoning for that at the time anyway. They didn't have any there was no therapeutic reasoning for that. And the guy says it would have put him in a constant fugue state to make him seem batshit crazy. I mean, but it basically looks that way. That's why they were doing it, to make him look batshit crazy. That's why he was saying all those crazy things. And I that's what I figured too, that he was being drugged to seem crazy so that they could keep him put away there and cover up something that he was trying to uncover regarding the Saxton case. So again, this guy implores her. This isn't the first time it's happened either, to get away from this case, for her own good. But she says that she can't let it go, and she thinks that they're onto something big. But he says that's what worries me. She could end up like Breen, like he's genuinely concerned for her. He's one of the few people who's not a jerk in this office toward her. He just, wants to warn her, basically. And Nina points out that, like, according to what they know now, a doctor outside the hospital was dosing Breen with the LSD. The name on the file was Dr. Ben Vasili, and they look at that again, and I think they said it's an anagram or something. Hold on. I heard, okay, what is this? Dater uploaded something. Okay, never mind. Oh, hi, Taryn. Hi, Taryn. I started this stream way later than usual, and a lot of people probably went to bed and didn't think we'd be live. So we got a small crowd tonight. Nice to see you. Let's see. Taryn, have you checked out this show yet? It's an awesome show. It's a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. It's not like it's a completely different type of show, but I'm enjoying covering it regardless. Steve said, sorry, my Chromebook's a little slow. Steve said there were a lot of trials on the public using LSD by the CIA at that time, so I wonder if that's a clue that the CIA is involved in this somehow. I think that's a great point, Steve. Yes. And I think that it is a clue to that. Yeah. In fact, in this episode, Nina mentions that she thinks the FBI and the CIA are involved. So, yeah. Yeah. Darren, yeah, this is the reason I'm watching it myself. It's not my usual genre. It's not my usual genre is the only thing, but I love the actor. Me too. I normally wouldn't look into a show like this, but I love Josh Holloway, and it's a JJ Abrams production. So I gave it a chance, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's got legs. I think this show is going to make it. I think it could get a second season too. I think it could. Yeah. Anyway, so hold on. Let me get back to my images. So, we're back to DC, and this guy Ewing, one of the people from the first scene, says a certain something has gone missing. It needs to be tracked down, post haste and pre-catastrophe. And okay, so now we see this is the guy from earlier in the season who got a call from Breen's wife. Breen's wife called him and was saying that, there's a federal agent poking around and looking into the missing files in Breen's case again, looking into Saxton. So she called him, this guy who was in, I don't even think he has a name yet. He's credited as something like cowboy hat guy or something like that, because he has a cowboy hat he wears. So he's involved in this conspiracy somehow, and now he's with a guy from the White House, someone who works directly under Nixon. So how high does this go is the question. Exactly how high does this go? He says, so there's something. He said a certain something has gone missing. It needs to be tracked down, post haste and pre-catastrophe. And then this dude answers intriguing. Had a meeting this morning, and then the other guy says had a meeting this morning with Sullivan and a third party. And then he's like, okay, so he says, let's just say that it was in a room that's oval in shape. Okay, so the Oval Office. Got it. The Oval Office.
Wink,
it's
wink.
Pretty clear.
It's a pretty big wink.
It's a pretty big wink. Yeah, it's pretty clear what he's talking about. We saw Nixon at the beginning of the episode. So this third party he's talking about is Nixon. It says, so tell me what's gone missing. and that's the end of that scene. So yeah, this is getting really interesting. I don't know how the White House is now involved in this too, but it's not a stretch of the imagination to imagine that Nixon is involved in this somehow in some kind of conspiracy in the government. It seems like it would be right up his alley. So it's not exactly shocking. So then we have a scene with Awan and Nina saying, "This is the address for Dr. Ben Vasili. Uh, this is the guy who was on the report as having dosed Breen with LSD, and there's nothing there. There's like nothing at the address, and she realizes that it's an anagram. It's an anagram for invisible, invisible. So it, yeah. So they're like even more convinced now. Breen wasn't crazy, and she says whatever is going on here involves the FBI and CIA, the Russians, and Howard Hughes, because they had that car that was owned by Howard Hughes, and Saxton and Joey and Xavier. Like Saxton had the Howard Hughes car, and then of course Joey. And we haven't been introduced to Xavier yet. We keep hearing this name dropped, but as far as I know, we haven't seen him yet. So he's still a question mark. And the Russians are involved somehow because Saxton was meeting with the Russians. This was during the Cold War time too, so it makes sense that they'd be involved in some way. Like that's not surprising either. And the government is involved. Maybe she's involving the CIA in her guesswork here because of the LSD situation. I don't know, but I'm not sure how else she would know the CIA might be involved. I think she's just kind of guessing at that point. But she says whatever it is, it's a coordinated effort among all of those parties. So yeah, this thing goes up really high. This is some kind of a conspiracy that goes up way to the top of the food chain. And when Jim comes up, there's a news report playing on his duster saying Nixon says emphatically that the White House is in no way involved in the burglary and bugging of the Democratic headquarters. That's Watergate, obviously. So Watergate, meanwhile, is going on at the same time as all of this. Oh, and it says, and he'll have no further comment on that matter. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. No further comment. Well, we know how all that turned out. But so yeah, we've got that conspiracy running parallel, a giant Watergate thing running parallel to whatever is going on here. And I think maybe that's there to give us get us the sense that this is a huge conspiracy running parallel to Watergate. At the same time, there's also a giant conspiracy involving the government agencies here with this case. And so Jim goes to see his dad to try to convince him to work with him. He's decking out his truck for the 4th of July, and it's like something really for veterans. He and Sax served together in the military, probably I'm guessing World War II. And so this is a tricky subject at his dad because Sax is his oldest friend. But he tells him that he's been trying to get a line on what happened to Joey, and it led him somewhere he doesn't like. It looks like it was a hit after all, which obviously gets his dad's attention, and yeah, it all points to Sax. The C4, Paris Guilford sold it to Sax. His father doesn't want to hear it. There's no way. He had no reason to kill him. But Jim says maybe Joey found out something Sax didn't like. And his dad gets angry. You got it twisted. It's that fucking Fed. She's playing you. She's all up in your head. He doesn't want to believe it because Sax is his oldest friend. But Jim says she's onto something. I don't know where it goes, but Joey was part of it. She's getting closer, and she needs our help getting in with Sax, which his father doesn't want to listen to at first. And Jim says he'd do it himself, but Sax cut him loose. He won't say what for. And you know, he needs, so he, the Russian, he needs Sax to, take Nina on as the Russian interpreter. Like that's what they have to convince him of. Tell Sax that you've got somebody to recommend for that position. He says, Ezra Saxton dragged my sorry bleeding ass through 6 miles of mud, shit, mortars, and hellfire when they were fighting together in the war. So obviously there's a deep emotional attachment to that friendship, and neither of them wants to be accusing him. He's like family to them. Jim doesn't want that either, but but Jim believes her that she's onto something with this. He's still resistant and says, you tell that Fed to go to hell. And Jim says he's just going to he found a thread and he's going to keep pulling till he unravels this thing. That's it. And, they go back and forth like that for a while. Jim says, you said yourself, we got to find out what happened. We got to get to the bottom of this. Joey deserved the truth. He deserved better. So he manages to convince his dad to do it. And then we come back to Nina and Awan. Whatever Breen knew, she's saying they went to crazy lengths to keep him quiet. We don't know. They don't know who they are exactly, but or why would Breen help cover up what happened to Joey? And she said maybe he was working for them. This Xavier person, they don't really know. They're just kind of following hunches at this point. And then Jim talks to her. So now they have radio, they have walkie-talkies where they're talking to each other between their cars, and he calls himself White Heat. White Heat looking for top dog, come back. White Heat looking for top dog. She's like, copy, go ahead, White Heat. Initially, his dad didn't go for it. He tells her, the Hail Mary was a bust, and so is your plan. She says, that's not good enough. She just will not take no for an answer, this woman. He's like, I'm all out of moves. If something comes up, you'll know. Until then, I'm out, He doesn't know what else to do. So she's not giving up. She says, I'll fix it myself. There's nothing holding her back. Nobody can say no to this woman. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing stops this woman. It's impressive. Nothing will discourage her. No kind of threats. None of these intimidating men. Yeah, I gotta respect that. Even a mob boss like that. She's cool under pressure too. But Jim. So then there's a little bit kind of like a bit of filler in this, to be honest. This whole 4th of July party they're having at his late brother's partner's house, I guess. I don't know if they were married or what, but Izzy's house. And, so he says he's going to bring fireworks. He says that he's suddenly got some time and he'll come to the 4th of July party and bring fireworks. And, that makes Luna happy. She loves that kind of stuff. As usual, they're sweet together. So they plan on doing that. And it's cute. It's cute. Like, it's not really necessary to move the plot forward, but it humanizes him as a character and gives him depth. So I like that aspect of it, as long as they don't go too far off track into it in the show. Like, nowadays, shows only have a limited number of episodes, and we can't veer too far into filler territory or character drama, or you just, you run out of time to fully flesh out the main plot points.
Back Back in the day
We
when you
haven't
had
seen them.
26 episodes, it was a lot
Go ahead.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
you
you
could
had, you said
devote a
when you
whole
had
episode
26
to the
episodes,
parade
right?
and some fireworks.
You could have all kinds of filler, right? Yeah. Yeah, so now it's just like, okay, how do you juggle both? How do you flesh out the characters and bring that out without taking away from fleshing out the major plot points that we need? And I thought, to be honest, I think this episode was a little bit too far into the filler territory. A little bit. But oh, thanks, Dieter. I finally dropped my Handmaid's Tale series finale analysis video yesterday. So if you watch The Handmaid's Tale or you know someone who does, pass it along. I would appreciate it. It took me 3 weeks to finally get it done. Every time I thought it was done, I would go back through. I mean, keep in mind, I was looking back through the whole series. I was reflecting on all of it as a whole. And in the series finale, there were deliberate callbacks to moments, pivotal moments from earlier in the series. And so every time I thought I was done, I'd go back through and I would find things I wanted to reference, realize the meaning that was packed into this finale. And so I took my time with it. And then I had a lot of technical problems too, technical issues. But I finally got it done. So if you haven't checked it out, or if you know someone who watches Handmaid's Tale, pass it along, give it a view. Even just 30 seconds counts as a view. Hitting the like button and dropping a comment in, even if it's just an emoji, all of that stuff triggers the algorithm and helps push it out to more people who actually watch the show and might want to watch the video. So anyway, Sax is looking at these old pictures and kind of reflecting on his friendship with not Sax, but what's his name? Wade. Looking back on these old pictures and reflecting on his relationship with Sax, his friendship with him over the years. So like he's struggling with it. He wants to do right by his late son, and if it's possible that Sax could have been responsible for the hit, then he wants to deal with it. Yeah, I think anyway. So he's looking at that. Let me get back into my photo tab here. And then he looks at this, which is what so I'm guessing this is his okay, these are his two sons, of course. So this is Joey. So he's kind of weighing this friendship here, him and Dax, weighing that with his love for his son Joey. There's Joey and Jim. And that's the most important thing to him at the end of the day. So he makes his choice. Ultimately makes his choice after Nina comes to see him. Which she does right now. She shows up to try to make her appeal to him directly. And he doesn't want to let her in. Jim didn't even send her. He doesn't even know she's there, but he tries to get her to leave because she doesn't have a warrant, but she makes her case, like, you don't know me, but I know Ezra Saxton from his old days in Philly. I watched him rip my family apart the same way he did yours. And so that, like, this is a really strong plea to go with. But he says Saxton would never hurt my family. She said, well, he would. He could have, rivals, partners, even old friends like my father was. They were close. Her father was close to him until my father told Saxton he wanted out of their business arrangement. And Saxton didn't like that. He made threats, but my father wouldn't back down. So Saxton killed him. And she's like, would I be here if it wasn't true? I came out of Quantico with one mission, to get the man who killed my father. I may be the enemy in your eyes, but if he killed your son, what does that make Saxton? So that did it. I mean, very effective argument. So he opened the door and let her in, and then they have their conversation. We cut to another scene with Jim. He's now this is where I felt like we got into more filler territory here. This is more filler territory, in my opinion. It may ultimately be setting something up for more later, but for now, kind of filler. He visits Sax's daughter. What the hell's her name? I always forget. What is it? I forget now.
Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis. He visits her, and she knows that Sax is pissed at him and surprised he hasn't left town yet. Because you don't just get fired from the mob. I mean, Sax kicked him out. Now he knows stuff. Like, his life is in jeopardy. Isn't he worried about that? Like, you don't just get simply fired. Like, your life is in jeopardy if you get kicked out. So, but he's not concerned about that, apparently. I don't know. I mean, it is Josh Holloway. He's cool under any kind of pressure, but yeah. So yeah, she talks about how her girlfriend is getting married and doesn't want to be, but it's another mob boss's kid. So some guy named Greek Sal, his daughter is getting married, and it's not. They've been dating for a long time. Sax doesn't know, and mainly because he hates Greek Sal so much that. So it's not that she's dating a woman, apparently. It's the fact that he hates Greek Sal. That's why she hasn't told her father that they were dating. He's seen her with other women before, and he pretends like it's some phase she'll graduate from, like college. But this is a different time. So there was a lot less tolerance for different sexualities. Greek Sal is making her marry some shipping asshole son's wife, some old school consolidation of power shit, and she doesn't even want to get married. Her name is Daphne. It's all arranged. Greek Sal just wants access to this guy's family's shipping empire, and this way he doesn't have to face who Daphne really is, lesbian. So Greek Sal doesn't want to deal with that. So yeah, he decides he's going to help her. Jim is going to help her. And it's nice that he's helping her and whatnot, but what does this have to do with furthering the main plot of the storyline and the conspiracy that clearly is extremely complicated? And I'm sure they're going to tie what happens. Like, there are mob people involved with this wedding, so maybe they'll tie it in to the main storyline. But right now, it just feels like filler. Like, why are we watching this storyline? There aren't enough episodes in a season to justify going off onto side quests like this and doing character drama, soapy stuff. Not that this is soapy stuff. It's not cheesy, but character drama. No.
Yeah. But it might tie into, in the future. Tie into the plot.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, because we don't know this woman, Daphne. I mean, it's the kind of storyline, like, yeah, I would be interested in seeing on a show that had 20 episodes, but if we're only getting, we're only getting 8 episodes. Wait, no, is it 8 or 10? 10. I think we're getting 10 episodes. It's not much. So this Genesis character is very minor to the story. She's not one of the major players at all. So she and her girlfriend, I'm not really interested, to be perfectly honest. I'm not. Because we don't have time for that. I want to get down to the bottom of this mystery. But maybe they'll tie it in later. It's the same thing with Izzy and her union activities for female truckers. That's great and all, but it has nothing to do with the main storyline of the show. And again, I wonder if there's going to be enough time to really delve into that and do justice to it. Well, I guess if they get picked up for another season, then they will. But at this rate, they're not gonna. We're not getting to the bottom of this at the end of this season.
It's 8 episodes, Julie. It's only 8 episodes.
It's only 8. Yeah, that's even more serious then.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
Yeah, that's
We don't have
even
any
more.
time for the lesbians.
Yeah, no.
Well, speak for yourself, Scarlett. Speak for yourself.
Like, I'm not saying I have any problem with this storyline. I mean, I'm interested in it. You know, it's just that we don't know Genesis that well. We definitely don't know Daphne, and all of a sudden we're supposed to care about Daphne getting out of this marriage. It's like we never even heard of this woman till this episode. You know, so it's a little frustrating for me. So we only have 3 more episodes left after this. It's not time to be going off on side quests, in my personal opinion. But hopefully this will get picked up for another season, and then they can fully dive deeper into this mystery. So let's see. Oh, thank you, Carl, for dropping the link to my video for the Handmaid's Tale deep dive, the finale. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Let's see. David said it's more about him getting back in with Sax. Yeah. In his good graces. Then it's about the wedding or mob stuff. Right. Thanks for joining us, David. We started pretty late tonight, so a lot of people probably just gave up and went to bed. So, because that happens sometimes. People come, they watch a little, they fall asleep. New people come, but yeah, a lot of people must have assumed we're not doing it. Anyway, next week we'll start a lot earlier. So anyway, getting back to this. Nina is very persuasive in this conversation with Saxton, and you know she's won him over. Yeah, so so at this point she's already won him over. Now he's just kind of coaching her, like, you know, how to lie to Sax effectively, because he has a way of looking at you and seeing exactly who you are. He'll know. And if he don't catch a scent, Billy the Bloodhound will. That's what he says. You ever been undercover? She says, I did well at the academy. She's fresh out of Quantico, so she's never been undercover. This is all new to her. She says, I did well at the academy. And he says, I did well in 6th grade biology, but that don't make me no fucking brain surgeon. She doesn't have experience. That's the thing. He said there's a cop back in 57 who thought he'd get the goods on Sax until his body parts start showing up from New Mexico to Louisiana. You know, this is not a man to be trifled with, Saxton. He might seem like a big teddy bear sometimes, but he's scary. He said, if I vouch for you and you fuck this up, you fuck me up and you fuck up what's left of my family. But she doesn't flinch. She is fearless. He says that it would have to be the performance of your life. Now, if you're going to look Sax in the eyes and lie, you're going to need some professional training. And later we knew exactly what it was going to be. We cut away, but I knew who he was bringing in. Certain brassy wife of his, stepmother fucker, as Jim called her, Charlotte. Back to Jim and Genesis at the bar. You know, she's talking about how we think we control our lives, but truth is, it just happens. There ain't nothing we can do. Now and then, you know, they toast to Daphne marrying the stupid fucking son of a boat asshole. The guy is involved in shipping, so I like to play on words there. Son of a boat asshole. And to me in your pop's doghouse. They're just toasting to shitty father problems. The father's fucking everything up. She said, you know, we should be drinking these at the wedding before burning the place to the fucking ground. And then he says, hey, we should go to that wedding, sneak in, And she's like, yeah, fuck you, Goldilocks. I like their banter back and forth. He says, you love Daphne, right? And so yeah, they're gonna try to get her out. Um, she says he needs a tux to sneak in, and he's like, okay, I'll grab it and pick you up. This is such a he has these like trademark Josh Holloway smiles and like facial expressions. This is so Sawyer right here. He flashes that charismatic smirk of his, the dimples. Yeah, that's so Sawyer. And then we've got Charlotte, stepmotherfucker, as Jim calls her. the stepmother from hell. Something about stepmothers, man. She's this reminds me kind of my stepmother, who I don't even really consider a stepmother because she's the worst. Very, very tacky, just tacky style, like, brassy, all of that. Anyway, she says, I just want to demonstrate the 3 key principles of the professional. So who knows? She's an expert at lying. So the 3 key principles are intention, belief, and listening. And he's just sitting there enjoying, like, just listening to the little lecture she's giving. You got to believe you are that person who you're pretending to be. That you won't believe it. If you don't believe it, they won't. Now, and then listen like a moth, she says. Moths have remarkable hearing. It's real and it can be brutal. Okay. She says, I was in Minsky's review at the Dunes, Frankie Vaughn. What I don't know what that has to do with anything, but she says, opening night, I walked out on stage. I was terrified. A little trade secret that Carol Channing taught me. I crossed my fingers. Just a little reminder, I'm okay. I focused on it for a few seconds and I unfroze. I killed that night. So I actually like that. I like that. Who knew she'd have such good advice? I was not expecting that. So yeah, she's an expert at staying cool under pressure and lying effectively. So she's giving that. Oh, and then the next thing, Jim walks in and mid-sentence she starts saying, you react. Oh fuck. She hates this guy. I don't know why they hate each other so much. I get that she's kind of the stepmother-in-law from hell for him, but she seems nice to other people. She's nice to Nina. I don't get it. But there's a major hostility there, and it's comical hostility, the way they go at each other. He wants to know what the hell Nina's doing there, and she's like, this woman is our guest, asshole. She said she convinced him to change his mind, and Charlotte is helping her. She's like, Miss Dinner Theater 1933 is giving you acting lessons. 1941, jackass. Yeah. Like, in other words, I'm not that old. And Nina says she's got some great tips. He says, yeah, for the casting couch, maybe. We all know what the casting couch is. And she's like done. She's like, I cannot listen to him. I cannot. I cannot talk to him. I cannot. And she just takes off, and Wade goes running after her. Angel pie. Wait.
Angel pie.
Angel pie. I love their interactions. It's so funny. Like, this is where I don't mind if there's a little bit of filler because it's so comical. I don't mind at all the stuff with him and his wife. He needs to borrow a tux from his dad. That's why he's there, and he won't say why. But yeah. So he's not happy with Nina about going and taking matters into her own hands. He says, what happens if Sax comes by while you're here? She's like, I wouldn't be here if you hadn't screwed up. He said, if Sax put the hit out on Joey, believe me, I want him to pay for it as badly as you do, but not if it means getting my father killed too. So yeah, so he takes a bunch of fireworks because he's planning on bringing those to Luna, you know, for Luna for the party. And yeah, so yeah, they just kind of go their separate ways. Yeah, he's not going to be involved with this phase of the plan, of her plan. Meanwhile, Sax is ominously cleaning one of his guns when Wade, I always forget his name, Wade Ellis shows up and to convince him to take on Nina as, or at least consider her as his interpreter. And you know, so yeah, they just kind of have a talk, and so they just sit down and have cigars together. And so we have a bunch of short scenes like that. It keeps kind of cutting around. Then it's Nina. She's got a brand new fake social security card, ID. Her cover is Nina St. James. Awan took care of it for her, and they look perfect, like exactly like the real thing. Forged some certifications and business cards and set up a line on their last extension. So once again, this young woman here is one of the only people actually helping them in the office. And she's got a fake name for herself too. I think her name is going to be Tiffany. She's like enjoying this role play thing. And you both play in the softball league. I guess in return, maybe they're going to do that. So they're like, okay, fine.
I said the dream. She realizes she does something for them, and then they have to realize her dream of being in the softball league.
Indeed. Yep. Groovy, she says. It's funny how certain words just fall out of our pop culture vernacular over time, and nobody says groovy anymore. Groovy and, you dig. Most people don't say that anymore either.
In California, a lot of people say you dig and right on.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, a lot.
What do we say, Scarlet, in California? What do we say?
Right on.
Oh yeah, right on.
Or dig. I've heard dig too.
Yeah, that one I don't remember hearing. But it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hear those kind of terms around here. So they're definitely not groovy. But that's just huh?
I think everything around you, Julie, is pretty wicked, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say California is more the groovy, like old hippies living on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. Here it's all wicked. It's New England, so it's wicked this and it's wicked that. Yeah. That's one New England thing I slip into. I can't help it.
Yeah. They don't say groovy, right? It's because you're so wicked smart. That's why, right?
Yeah. Yeah. At least I don't say it like that. I pronounce my R's. Thank you very much. I do. It will be wicked smart. There you go. But still, Genesis and Royce, like night and day. Yeah. So Sax is talking about his son and daughter. Genesis is defiant as hell, and Royce is always doing dumb shit. And so they're just kind of laughing about their fucking kids. Yeah. So it's kind of paralleling the scene with Jim and Genesis talking about their fucking fathers and how they ruin everything over drinks. Now these two are, commiserating over cigars. And Genesis is one kid over the other too. Genesis, he says Genesis was always the smart one, just like my Joey was. So there was always this favoritism. Joey was, the capable, smart one. He was going to be second in line under Dax, and Jim is just a driver. And so now, yeah, it's the same thing with Genesis. She's the sharp one. Joey, Royce is, this weak doofus who got played by two dorky Mormon looking guys who stole that car right out in front of him. So yeah. But yeah, the favoritism big time for both of them with these two dads. And then he brings up the death of Joey. It seems like he's trying to feel him out. To feel out like Saxton, see if he's lying, if he's covering something up. He's like, boy, I missed that kid. 2 long years. Goddamn, I'm still hung up on it. How he lived, how he died, the accident. If that's what it was. So he's feeling Sax out here. And Saxton kind of narrows his eyes at him and looks at him. And I was really looking closely too, like trying to read any signs of guilt on his face. He says, we shook down everyone who breathed the same air as Joey. Came up empty. Wade says, I just can't let it go. So I figured I'd do some more digging. Saxton doesn't look happy about that. So it's hard to read him. It really is, because 1 minute he looks guilty as sin, and the next minute he seems like he really misses Joey and cared about him and looked at him like family. It could be both. It could be both. He's a mob boss. It could be that he really did care about him, but at the end of the day, he cares about his mob enterprise more, and maybe he's responsible for the hit. That would be the more predictable outcome of this, though. So I'm still leaning toward Sax is innocent of this particular thing. I think. Let's see. And yeah, so Wade says, I figured I'd do some more digging and see what turns up. Let's see. Well, what's this? Sexton was saying, I pulled you off the floor of every bar from here to Las Cruces. Practically had to tie you down to force a meal down your throat. Only time I've seen you worse is full of Japanese shrapnel on that island from hell. Opening that wound again. So like he's talking about the grief that Wade felt after he lost Joey. Like, why are you opening that wound again? He was a complete wreck. Saxton was there for him during that time. And Wade says, yeah, maybe you're right. But Saxton says, if you need to take your mind off things, you can always come back anytime, meaning come back to the organization. Charlotte won't be happy, but I can use you now more than ever, he says. So I guess they're such good friends that he really did let Wade resign from the mob. Like, just let him retire. Not resign, but retire. It's surprising. I didn't know. I don't know how it works normally, but yeah, just getting to retire like that, that's pretty sweet. Because you can't just quit. But he's definitely retirement age, so he retired. Wade says, Jimmy says you've gone multinational. So now they've got international dealings here. And Saxton says, yeah, I got something hot with some Soviet thieves, but my fucking interpreter just got pinched for tax fraud, if you could believe that. And this is his opening right here. Wade says, I still got my magic Rolodex. And so he's like, you think you got the right man for the job? Well, in this case, the right man might just be a lady. And so, of course, he's going to recommend Nina. Really smart, clever way that he played Sax like that so easily. Played him like a real Sax. It wasn't hard at all. It wasn't difficult. This girl is so funny. I gotta find out what her character name is. She's got a lot of personality. I like her. she's enjoying this little role play game they've got going. Like she's got her own fake name, which she didn't even really need, but she's got her fake name. And oh, Scarlet is back, but the devices are not connected. It might just take a minute. She's got her fake name, and Nina has her fake name. She's very much enjoying this like a game. Let me see. I'm just checking the chat here. Yeah, Dieter, yeah, I've got water, and I already ate earlier, but you'll hear that on the replay. So yeah, she's enjoying this fun little game. Nina St. James' office. This is Tiffany Raquel Patterson. She's a character. Nina goes to the bathroom and does push-ups to kind of relieve the tension and the stress. And yeah, so then she sorry, what?
I was just gonna say her character's name is Jessica, I think. If that's what you were looking for.
Oh, the blonde woman? Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Jessica. Okay. Yeah, she's funny. I like her. She's got spunk. She's quirky. And there's this song playing in the background. I don't know what song. I don't know what the name of the song, but it's really fitting. It's it's very feminist kind of song. How strong is a woman? She comes out in her powerful looking get up here. She's full of confidence, and she comes up face to face with this asshole. And he says he's been watching her and her partner, and his gut says she's up to something he won't like. She's like, I don't care what you like. I'm doing my job. And I'm getting real tired of you looking over my shoulder and threatening me and doubting what I'm capable of. So hear me loud and clear. The answer to the question, where am I off to, is always trying to make progress on this case that wasn't made before I got here. Now, if you'll excuse me, that was great. She put him in his place. That was awesome. This idiot's been talking down to her from day one. Him and some of the other men in the office, but he's the worst. Yeah, and I knew he was sketchy as hell. I could just tell. And that gets revealed later. Then Nina is interviewing with first he gets, she gets the 3rd degree from this lackey, the lackey of Saks, and why do you want this position? What makes you think you can do this? And she thinks her resume speaks for itself. He asks about discretion, and she says, I suggest you'd ask the man I worked for at the UN. And I'd never give you their names. So yeah, discretion. He's got to test her language skills, and then she starts speaking fluent Russian, but he doesn't know what it means. So she says in English, I asked if you speak Russian. So he can't exactly test her language skills. He's out of his depth with her. So yeah, then he calls up someone from Leningrad, I guess, to really test it. And she gets on the phone. She's so cool under pressure, so relaxed. And she has no problem with it at all, and figures out what area he's from too. And hands the phone back. Okay, then we've got the guy with the big hat again. And I think in the credits, I don't even think he has a name yet. I think he's just man with a big hat or something. He's in a phone booth.
Guy with hat.
Yeah. Guy with the hat. He says, yeah, it's me. 2 complications. What do you want first, bad or worse? Tricky Dick, that means Nixon. Tricky Dick knows what got lifted. Okay. And then he says, I don't know. He saw Sullivan and Ewing this morning. Now they know too. So those were those two guys at the White House, one of whom was in the car with this guy later. And then
That
he
guy,
says, Jesus.
that guy's name is Cowboy. Just simply Cowboy in the cast list.
Cowboy. Yeah.
I
knew it was something generic. I knew it was something generic. Yeah. And I heard him. I saw him being referenced. This guy with a hat somewhere. Something that I was reading. It was like a write up of the show.
It is one hell of a hat.
It is quite the hat. Yeah. He says, Jesus, do they know about Kakarov? And don't seem to. Okay. So this is all very enigmatic. We don't know who that is. He says, Ewing came to me to clean it up. What's the bad? We've got a wrench in Phoenix. I've got multiple calls about a new Fed poking around Saxton's operation. And I'm not sure we have time to get her in our pocket. Get out of there as soon as you can. So someone tells him, get out of there as soon as you can. You take care of it. You got that. So, okay. So he's talking to, I forgot about this. He's talking to Xavier, this elusive, mysterious Xavier person we've heard about before. We heard his name was mentioned during Saxton's meeting with the Russians. So now he's also talking to the, member of the government, whoever this is. He's from DC. He says, Xavier, I'm one step ahead. Already got my ticket to Phoenix. So what the hell got lifted? I haven't watched a lot of shows in this genre. And so I'm not as, well suited to come up with theories as to what they're talking about, but something got lifted. There's something missing, and Nixon knows. That's the biggest thing I got out of that. Something got lifted, aka it's missing, and Nixon knows. And they're trying to put a lid on this, Nina poking around Saxton's case. So, yeah. I guess Ewing came to this guy with the hat to clean it up, to clean up the mess. And yeah, and we got a wrench in Phoenix. I guess that's, so the wrench, throwing a wrench in the plan, that's a reference to that. Throwing a wrench in things, the new Fed, that's the bad part. So I guess, so wait, there was, hold on, let me go back. There was, so bad or worse. So yeah, they start with the worst, that the worst is the Nixon thing, that he knows what got lifted. And then the bad thing, because he says, what's the bad? So the worst thing was the Nixon thing. The bad is Nina poking around the case, the Saxton case. So somehow they must connect together. Otherwise, we wouldn't be hearing about it. There's got to be some kind of connection that goes all the way to Nixon. So we'll have to just wait and see. There really hasn't been enough information to really guess, for me anyway, what's going on here. How is Nixon involved? Why are they trying to cover up Joey's death? Clearly, that's what they're doing. How he died, who killed him. So it very well could be that they just wanted to finally take Saxton down and they framed him. But I'm sure it's more complicated than that. It can't just be that. There's got to be some more complicated situation going on. So yeah, that's that. I mean, that's like probably the most interesting part of the episode in terms of like, the plot and the main mystery of it, the conspiracy part of it. Because then after that point, you just have this wedding, which felt like filler to me, but maybe some part of it will become relevant later on. Jim and Genesis showing up, and they're gonna rescue Daphne, his girlfriend or her girlfriend. So yeah, it's a mob wedding, so it's still mob related, but yeah, I don't really see the connection to the main story, but we'll see. I think this is Greek Sal. This must be the guy they're talking about, Greek Sal, who's marrying his daughter off to some daughter of a shipping tycoon or something so that he can reap the benefits of it. Kind of like, like royalty, the way they used to marry off their offspring with arranged marriages to make deals and negotiations. And they say that's the stepmom and Margaret over there, the third stepmom. How many of those are you gonna fucking have? He's like, so I guess that's Greek Sal's wife. Yeah, that's the stepmom of Daphne. That's his wife, and she's drinking a lot. So let's see. Genesis says that's Bobby. Okay, so I guess that's Bobby. Daphne said she's calling the shots for this whole shindig, so she'll be the one escorting my girl out of the bridal suite. How much time do you need to track down? So he says, how much time do you need to track down Daphne? So they're coming up with a plan to get Daphne out of there, and he's going to distract. He's going to distract this Bobby woman. Get her out of the way, and then they can, in the background, Genesis can be getting Daphne out of there. She says she can do it in 10 minutes. It's a yeah, piece of cake. Of course it's a piece of cake for him. He says, meet at the car. Now let's turn on the charm. He turns on his Sawyer charm and approaches her. It doesn't matter that she's married to Greek Sal. He'll just seduce her and get her out of the way. Yeah, it's that easy for him. Piece of cake.
That's like real life for him.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Even in this goofy ass 70s ruffled tux, it still
I'm
works
actually
somehow.
surprised that isn't more like robin's egg blue.
Yeah. The yellow. God, this shirt is awful. I'm glad they got rid of, like, eventually people came to their senses and got rid of these terrible ruffled tuxes that guys used to wear. It's awful. My God. It looks ridiculous. Even he can't pull it off. He's got ruffles going down the front. He's got ruffles around his the end of his sleeves. It's not a good look. I've seen a lot that used to be pink. Guys wearing ruffled tuxes to school dances are like pink. And Bobby is drinking way too much. So she's not hard at all to lure away and trick, especially by the likes of Jim. So she's knocking him back.
Are you saying that you guys would have been distracted by him? Would he have been able to distract you too?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he's a charming guy. What do you know? Maybe, but no. I'd like to think I'm too smart for that. I'm too smart to be fooled like that, and I wouldn't be drinking. I wouldn't be drinking like that either, which compromised her judgment even more. But yeah,
well,
she's an idiot.
He would have distracted me.
That was a punchline.
Yeah. So
those ruffles.
Yeah. I feel like if they were gonna do this scene, like they could have. Oh, hey JT Moore. Hold on, let me go to the chat for a minute. Good morning, Critter. Nice to see you. Yeah, thank you for hitting like. It liked. Okay, on the way to work. That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day at work. Hey, JT Moore. Watergate happened on June 17th, 1972. Did this happen on July 4th? Let's see, July 4th, 1972. Yeah, it must be, because they were talking about the Watergate on the news report. They were talking about Watergate in this episode. It's on the 4th of July. So that tracks. He said, did this episode, okay, so yeah, and then The Godfather hit movie theaters in 1971. So
yeah, but that's at the time when a movie like The Godfather could be in theaters for a year.
Oh wow, really?
You know, like stuff like Jaws and Star Wars, they just stay in the movie theater for like 6 months to a year.
Wow. Yeah, nowadays it's like maybe 2 months, 3 months.
Get them and get it out.
Yeah.
That's why movies are well loved, because people could keep going to them and going to them and going to them. Like over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's why someone in this episode said, I saw Godfather 5 times. I guess that would be pretty easy to do. Just keep going back.
Yeah, and I don't think they weren't making as many movies, I think, per year as they do now.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I doubt it. Now it's like it's a flurry of stuff. Loads and loads of movies. You can't even keep up. So this is this part I honestly just didn't see why this needed to be here. We've never met this woman. It's like, okay, we don't have time for filler in an 8-episode season. We've never met her.
No time for you, Daphne.
Yeah.
No time for you and your wedding.
Yeah. And her sad tears, you know.
Like, and your sad tears, Daphne.
And they're sweet together, but it just doesn't have anything to do with the main plot. At least not now. Maybe later they'll tie it into something. But anyway, she tells her she came in to sneak her out. And then the two of them, yeah, this didn't take long. They're in some kind of storage room. And yeah, he works his magic on her. Oh, yeah. He said it would only take 10 minutes, 10 minutes, no problem. So Genesis says, I'm not asking you to choose me. I'm asking you to choose you. So she's not just going to run away from this marriage for Genesis. Back then it would have been really difficult anyway, for a same-sex couple to be together, but at the very least, get out of this wedding, because you don't want to marry this guy. She's being forced. So I liked that line. I'm asking you to choose you. That's cool. Like she clearly does care for her. I don't know what, like, we've never even seen this woman before. I don't know what level their relationship is at. They've been dating for, I think, 15 months, but I don't know if they love each other or what, but at the end of the day, it's about choosing herself. Like, if you don't want to marry this guy, number one, you're choosing yourself if you get away from him. So that was a good line. I liked that. She says, I'm hoping you find a way out. And then she starts taking her clothes off. And
Wait, Julie, I think you missed a couple of screenshots. You might want to go back.
I deliberately skipped the one with the bridal lingerie. I did that on purpose. That's not even in here. This is the most you're gonna get. This is it. Sorry guys in the chat and watching. No, this is all you're gonna get. It's just some shoulders. Just some shoulders.
Just a taste, everyone.
Yeah. That's all you're gonna get. It's a little racy for YouTube. I mean, it's not, there's no nudity, but I don't know. I didn't feel the need to show anymore.
Maybe if you haven't watched Sister yet, maybe you'll watch it because of this.
Yeah, and if you want actual nudity, there's nudity in it too. There's female nudity.
Oh
There are
yeah.
two different scenes so far where there's female nudity. So yeah, topless women. Yeah.
That's my favorite kind of nudity, by the way.
No, you don't say. Anyway, yeah. Sorry to say, guys, there's no male nudity for the ladies, not as of yet. Anyway, the only partial male nudity we got was, that who was that union leader, that old dude. Yeah, he was. I forget his name. I forget his name, but anyway,
That's like Coleman or something, I think was his name.
yeah, something like that. Anyway, so they realize that the bride is missing, and they're sneaking her out. And so this lady's like, should we send someone up to check on the bride? And he's like, isn't my wife doing that? No, she's too busy about to screw.
Oh yeah.
About to screw Jimbo here. So, and she's like, we don't know where she is, sir. His wife. So yeah, Jim better watch it. Like he's gonna screw the wife of a mob boss. He just he's in hot water with Sax. So he's got to have two hot mob bosses on his ass now. Greek Sal says, send someone to see what's taking Daphne so long. Yeah, so it gets kind of dicey. Yeah, these two guys are going to check on things, and he's like, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Things are escalating kind of quickly with Bobby here. Yeah, he's like, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Maybe another time. And she's too busy starting to undress already. He's like, no. She's like, shut up and take your pants off. Okay. He's trying to get away. She's like grabbing him. Yeah, that escalated quickly. You don't want to go that far.
Julie, she was looking for what lies in the shadow of the statue, if you know what I mean.
Oh no. Yeah, I think she was. Yeah, he didn't expect things to get this hot and heavy, and now he's panicking and trying to get out of there. You don't want to screw a mob boss's wife. That's probably a bad idea with a party full of people outside, really hot water. And they almost catch them too. So, but they hear them, and yeah, the guy comes in. He's like, Jim fucking Ellis. He's like, hey, I love this fake out thing that he pulls. Like, hey man, this isn't what you think. And then just slugs him. He's like, he's acting like he's just gonna try to defend himself, and when the guy's not expecting it, just hauls off and slugs him. And then you have like another comical fight scene. This show does those to perfection. Proud Mary starts playing, and he's like throwing the guy around, and then throws this stack of chairs in the way so he can make his exit. And yeah, he sees, okay, Daphne's missing. This guy sees Daphne's gone. She's going down, rushing out. And another great song choice. This show has excellent music. Proud Mary, what a great song. Yeah, Jim and Daphne, Jim, Daphne, and Genesis all get the hell out of there as fast as they can. Of course, get into the duster. Those guys are chasing after them. And it's another fun scene. You got that song blasting, the car chase. They're shooting at each other. The action scenes are fun in this show. Yeah, and apparently they're aiming at the tires, so that they're trying to shoot at the tires on the car. So yeah, Genesis like hangs out the window, shoots back at them. Yeah, so she has to shoot back at them. Genesis can handle herself well. She can handle a gun. She's good. And then like yeah, these two guys are not doing a particularly good job. They're like arguing over who's doing the shooting and who's doing the driving. So they're not particularly good at this. And then like I guess they run out of ammo for the gun, and then or either that or they just decide the fireworks will work better. He doesn't want them to use it because he wants them to save them for for his niece, because that was why he brought them. She loves fireworks, and he's supposed to be going to that 4th of July party, but yeah, they use it. They need the fireworks, because those guys are right on their tail. So they use the fireworks as as a better form of weaponry. But see, what this guy said, what happened to shooting tires? And he says, apparently he's trying to shoot Jim, not just shoot at the tires. He says, this guy says, what happened to shooting tires? And he says, he ain't getting away with Sal's kid. Fuck him. So he's actually trying to shoot Jim, not just the tires. And so luckily they have these fireworks, which are more effective than just shooting like that. And Genesis starts throwing fireworks back their way, which is a really cool effect. You've got the fireworks exploding on the car, and they're just enjoying themselves. Now it's getting fun. The fight scenes and the chase scenes are always fun in this show. It's like they're in a life-threatening, dangerous situation, but they're all laughing and having fun. That's just the kind of vibe of the show, but I'm enjoying it. And then they can't even really see because of all the smoke from the fireworks, these two idiots behind them. Yeah, so they keep throwing them. He's like, don't burn my seats. Yeah, we don't want to ruin the precious Duster seats. And they keep throwing them. And he's got such a soft spot for Luna. He's like, that was Luna's favorite. The more I watch this, the more I think people were correct in the beginning, assuming, like theorizing that Luna is actually his daughter, not his niece.
Yep.
Yeah. The more I see of this, the more I think that's the case. He's upset that they threw Luna's favorite kind of firework out the window. And yeah, they almost run out of fireworks, but then they have just enough. I think they have one last thing, and yeah, yeah, it's a fun scene. Like the whole car just erupts in fireworks behind them, and they're just celebrating. And then you see in the background fireworks going off in the sky. Yeah, it's a fun scene. These guys have to jump out of the car, and that's so they get away. Yeah, it was a fun original chase scene. I hadn't seen anything like that done with fireworks before. It's a little early for the 4th of July, but actually it's not that far away now. Some people around here start shooting off fireworks like in May. They're already lighting off fireworks in May.
There's almost like a season now between Memorial Day and the 4th of July where people just want to fire off firecrackers the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens more and more. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I remember, huh?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go first. I'll remember what I was going to say.
Hey, you were speaking of fireworks going off early. There were fireworks going off early in this show. They were like in the storage room with the wife, and then the bridal suite. There's fireworks everywhere in this episode.
That's true. Fireworks of all kinds, right? I was gonna say when the pandemic hit and everybody was bored and home all the time, all of a sudden fireworks were going off all the time. I could hear them like every night. Like I'd hear fireworks going off. It was like people were spending. I'm convinced people were spending their stimulus checks from the government on fucking fireworks. Idiots. Like why would you do that? I mean, like I guess okay, maybe not everybody needed the money, but like spend it on something better than fireworks. Fireworks can be fun, maybe a couple times a year, but the amount that people were doing, it was just ridiculous. And you're literally like lighting up your money and it's going up in flames. It's just stupid. And it annoyed a lot of people. I remember in the local groups I was in on Facebook, like people were complaining like about the noise of the fireworks and asking people to stop it. It was constant. It was like every night asking people to stop it because it was upsetting their dogs and their war veterans with PTSD and stuff. Every night is a bit excessive, to be honest. Like I like fireworks, but every night it was ridiculous. And the pain is not great, Dieter. No. What? Sorry, what, Carl?
No, I was just you just said you don't like fireworks every night. Did you just say that?
Well, maybe not this kind of firework. You know, literal fireworks. Other fireworks maybe. But anyway.
Just clarify.
Yeah. There's more than one kind. Yeah, so you're right about that. I should make it more specific. Dieter, the pain is it's not too bad. Not too bad, but I screwed up yesterday and I slept for too many hours. Then I didn't get to walk. I didn't get to time my walks in the appropriate way like I usually do when I have lives. So it's not great, but we're breezing through this quickly. So I'll be able to wrap it up soon. For real, wrap it up. Not an hour or 2 hours of wrapping it up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing with Saturday night. Probably another watch party, some movie. Well, we'll figure it out. Dieter said, let's go, Duster Crew. Julie, Carl, and Scarlet are on fire, bringing the deep dives we love live. You've got this, legends. Dieter. Dieter and his AI cheerleading. Hi, Doc. Doc is back. He popped in and said, my cat wants more kibble and has decided to annoy me by trying to knock over the ashtray. I caught it as she was pulling it off the counter. Well, yeah, I can relate. Yeah, the cats pull all kinds of hijinks here, too. My mom's cat was doing it earlier. The reason I had to get up and leave for a little while is because her cat was knocking stuff around and like tapping her head with his paw, demanding to be fed at 2:30 in the morning, breakfast. So yeah, cats can be like that. It's a little annoying. Yes, Kelly, cats know how to get their point across for sure. JT Moore said, are you still having Tuesday night watch party tonight? Yes, we're gonna watch the pilot episode of Twin Peaks. Probably, I think we're gonna do it at 10 p.m. Eastern, but I'm not 100%. We might. I'm not sure. It depends on the timing when I can get things done, but might start at 9 o'clock. I'll put an announcement in the Discord a little later, but it'll definitely be tonight, either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. But I'll put an announcement in the Discord and I'll tag everybody so you'll know ahead of time. And that was Doug's suggestion. Doug Hughes from, I hate saying from, damn it. They shouldn't have named it From. It's a stupid title for a show, and then I have to say from all the time. It's annoying. Anyway, yeah. He suggested we watch that, and I had been meaning to watch it for a long time anyway. Everybody keeps recommending Twin Peaks and how if you're a fan of From and shows like From, Twin Peaks is kind of the grandfather of them all. So we're gonna watch the pilot episode. So anyway, Scarlet is back. Please like the stream if you're listening. Would appreciate it. It helps people find the stream. Welcome back, Scarlet. Okay. So yeah, we've got the last. I think this is the last scene, if I'm not mistaken. It's the 4th of July party, and Jim didn't make it in time. Like, basically, this guy who's dating Izzy is trying his best to kind of bribe his way into Luna's heart. And it's working pretty well too. And it's kind of sucks, because I think honestly, I think maybe she would rather be with Jim and is disappointed that Jim didn't show up like he was supposed to, because when her boyfriend walks away, she has this look on her face like she's not so happy. She had like a smile on her face when he was there. He walks away. She doesn't look happy. So yeah, because Jim was supposed to be there with fireworks for Luna. So I think there's definitely there's history there. It's soapy stuff. It's not important to the main plot line, but there's probably history there. She and Jim, Luna's probably their daughter. Okay, there's a little bit more to it than just that. That wasn't the last scene. Daphne was saying thank you to Jim, and yeah, they're just grateful for his help in getting her out. Let's see. So then they say goodbye. I guess Daphne is just going to go off. Like, she's going to have to go into hiding, I'm sure. Like, she's the daughter of a mobster. She's running away from an arranged wedding, so it looks like she's going into hiding. So that's going to be the end of that. Again, that's another reason why I think that part didn't really need to be in the episode. Like, it seems like a bit fillerish, because we'll probably never even see Daphne again. But be that as it may, back to the 4th of July party. It's none other than the mom's boyfriend with fireworks for Luna, and she's really happy with them. And this was supposed to be something Jim was going to do with her. So, and then there's a scene. Okay, there's a little more that I thought. For some reason, I thought that was going to be the end. There's the scene with Sax and Genesis, and he's upset. Actually, no, he's not upset. Sorry, he's happy, because he says marrying into that family would have given Greek Sal access to half the shipping ports in Europe. That asshole has stolen so much from me, meaning Greek Sal, and now he loses the biggest deal of his sorry-ass life because of you. Karma, motherfucker. And she said, I didn't just do it for you. I did it for her. So this, apparently, this helps him a lot. Greek Sal is a rival of his, and if he had sealed that deal by marrying his daughter off into that family with access to half the shipping ports in Europe, then it would have hurt him. It would have hurt Sax's enterprise. So he's happy. He wants to see him fail. But she says, I didn't just do it for you. I did it for her. And he's like, I don't want to hear about all of that. He doesn't want to hear about her, being a lesbian and whatnot. Not surprised. It's just, it's a typical thing of the time, unfortunately, the prejudice going on. And he just doesn't want to hear it. She says, it's the truth. And he says, what you did tonight, it's what a Saxton would do. There's going to be blowback, but I'm grateful for what you did tonight, Rabbit. I don't know why he calls her Rabbit. I guess it's his nickname for her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cute.
it's cute.
Like
Yeah.
Bunny. Like Bunny or Pumpkin.
Right. It's cute. He says, I know what happened with the Hughes car, but you've got to let it go. So I think that, you see, that was his daughter saying that. She's urging him to let it go. What happened with Jim, giving away the Howard Hughes car. You got to let it go. He says, I'm still working on replacing that money. And she's still kind of pushing him to let it go. He says, I'll take it under advisement. Putting in a good word for her friend Jim. Yeah, we weren't even close to the last scene when I thought it was the last scene. I thought they would be ending with that scene with the fireworks, but I forgot about all this. So the lackey comes in and says, new interpreters in the conference room waiting for you. And it's Nina, of course. And they have this, she is confident as hell. They have this exchange. She's Nina St. James, her alias. I'm surprised she didn't pick a different first name.
Yeah. I thought about that too.
Yeah, why Nina, Pick a completely different first name. He says, I see you survived the pre-meeting. And she's like, I hope to survive this one too. He asks where she's from, and she just says, all over. My dad was Air Force, so I grew up on bases all around, mostly Europe. He's like, that right. I was in the Marines, 36th Depot. So she's not lying. Like her dad probably, I'm guessing her dad served with him. Just like Wade Ellis did. And he took out her dad. He took a hit out on Nina's dad. Even though they were close friends. He said, wonder if I ever crossed paths with your dad. This has got to be really difficult for her to face him down and just not even show a flicker of emotion there. She stays completely cool and collected, just looking at him. No sense of rage, no pain in her face, just, amazing how she keeps her cover. She just says, could have, small world. Yeah, they did more than cross paths. He asks her, how did you come to pick up Russian? There ain't a whole lot of interpreters who look like you. And she says, my dad was stationed on a base outside of Hamburg, a code breaker, and he thought it might be useful if I learned the language of the enemy. Interesting. Interesting, and he is kind of clutching his gun, kind of menacingly. She's looking at it, but she's still not keeping, she's still not blowing her cover. She's still keeping her cool. She's facing him down, and she's remembering the advice given to her by Charlotte. He's gonna know, like what's his name, Wade warned her, like, he's really good at detecting lies. She's got to be completely convinced of herself. He asks, how do you feel about violence? And she says, I prefer to avoid it. And what a threatening thing to say as he's putting his hand on his gun. How do you feel about violence? She says, I prefer to avoid it. He says, I mean the threat of it. Do you panic? Lose your way? And she says, I'd be lying if I said the work I do. Oh, no, sorry. He says, I'd be lying if I said the work I do doesn't go upside down sometimes. So he says, if that were to occur, what would you do? Again, cool as a cucumber. She says, my family came to the States when I was a kid. When I was 19, a man pulled me into an alley, held a knife to my throat. But what I discovered is that when things get bad, I get good. I stay calm and think straight. He says, what happened in the alley? And she responded, he ran off. And here I am today telling you the story. So, which I could also tell you in flawless Russian, she says. And she's knows what she's talking about. I mean, she is sitting there cool under pressure in that room with him. And she's every bit is what she says. She is able to stay collected and keep her mind straight. She basically she says she fought that guy off in the alley and he ran, and she didn't lose her cool, and she's not doing it now either. And then he goes from this kind of mean expression to then smiling and chuckling, and the tension finally breaks. It was a tense moment up to that point. Like that he can go from scary as hell to cuddly and laughing just like that in a split second. This guy, you can see her kind of relax in her chair, and she's got her fingers crossed, doing what Charlotte told her to do. Yeah, and it worked. It worked. She was completely calm and collected, but she had that little trick. She was focusing on that. I like that. I like that. I might want to try that myself, actually. Jim, and then Jim, this is kind of sad. I felt bad for Jim. He drives up to the 4th of July party, and he sees that they're already setting off fireworks. Well, at first he sees other people doing it, right? But then he gets to Izzy's house. Let's see, where are we? Still more shots of him driving down the street. He gets to Izzy's house. He looks over, and I think that, yeah, there they are. Izzy, Luna, and the boyfriend are all having a great time, good old time together. She's so happy they're lighting off fireworks. That's where he wanted to be. He was supposed to be there. He had the box of fireworks, and now here he is showing up late. Doesn't have any fireworks left. They had to use them. And this other guy is kind of usurping his usual spot. And he might even still have feelings for Izzy too. If anything, I feel like he's more focused on Luna. I don't know. There could be something there still with Izzy, but he's more focused on Luna in a very fatherly kind of role with her. So this definitely hurts him. And that's not that's not what he wanted. He wanted to be the one there with her, making her happy, lighting off fireworks. Luna's so happy with it. They look like a happy family, the three of them. And he's just kind of on the outside looking in. And poor sad Sawyer face. I don't like sad Sawyer face. That sucks. And then there's on the radio. So it says Billy over the radio. It says, Dusty Clutch, you there? And he says, yeah, boss needs you. So this is one of the guys in the organization. Wants to see him. So Sax wants to see him after Sax threw him out and said he's done with him. He says, boss needs you at HQ ASAP. 10-4. So that's, yeah, he calls him back in, and he says, I heard about the wedding. Saxton. And Jim was part of making that happen. So I think this, yeah, so this is what makes the difference. He's back in. So the wedding wasn't entirely irrelevant or anything, but I don't think that's why Jim wasn't trying to get back in with Saxton by doing this. He was just trying to help Genesis get her girlfriend out of there. It just so happened that he got his way back into the organization. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just didn't get the sense that he was doing this for any other reason. He was like, he didn't say anything to indicate that he was doing this to, to please Sax. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he had a dual purpose in mind, because he would know that Greek Sal is a rival of Saxton. So maybe it was kind of a dual purpose mission, because he needs to get back in. He needs to get back in and get close to Saxton so he can keep investigating Joey's death. And it works. He says, "I'm going to need all hands. Welcome back." Then he says, "Let me introduce you to someone." And this is an interesting moment. Meet Nina St. James. Now you gotta pretend like you've never met each other. Yeah. It's always an awkward kind of moment watching this from the outside. We know what's going on, really, but they have to act like this is the first time they've ever met. Saxton has no idea. So they shake hands. So it worked. She got her way in. They didn't even really work together in this episode. She found her own way in using Jim's father. Convinced him to get her in the door. She talked her way in. He got his way back in. Might have been unintentional on his part, just helping a friend, helping Genesis. Could have been trying to do both, though. I think he may have been trying to accomplish both. And now they're back in. Even when they're not working together, now they're back working together. They're on track again. So, I mean, as much as this episode felt like there was some filler in it, I guess it was set up. It needed to happen to push the plot forward ultimately, because now he's back in the organization. She's now the interpreter, so she's on the inside too. So yeah, it kind of needed to happen. I feel like there could have been a little bit less. They could have maybe cut down on some of the character drama stuff a bit, still accomplish the same goal, but yeah, it's still an enjoyable episode regardless. And ultimately, it does push the plot forward because now he's back in. It was kind of like going around in circles. He was kicked out of the organization. Now they have to find a way. The writers in the writers' room for the show, they were probably like, okay, how do we get him back in now? He just basically gave away $1 million car. And how do you do that? How do you address this now? He's got to get back in with the crime boss. But yeah, they found a way to do it. I think there could have been a way that would have been a little bit more compelling to watch, but that's just me. And then I think this might be the last scene. We've got the cowboy, our unnamed cowboy government official. I think he's now in Phoenix. Yes, he's now in Phoenix. He says, he gets in the car with somebody. The camera focuses on his face. He says, "We clean up this fucking mess." Looks over. The camera, I love how they did this. The camera unfocused on cowboy and it focused on the driver, and it's none other than this FBI jerk who Nina's been working for. So
his name Grant, maybe? I thought I remember Grant.
I believe it is Grant. Yeah, that sounds right. Yep. It's Grant. So he's been in on it the whole time. He's in on the conspiracy. I got the sense that he was shady from the start. I got that vibe from him. So yeah, I'm not surprised. This isn't like a shocking reveal to me that he's in on whatever government conspiracy is going on here. Cover up, whatever. So yeah, what are they going to do now? I'm not sure. We clean up this fucking mess. So they're going to be trouble for Nina, for sure. They don't want Nina poking around in all of this stuff in Breen's case against Saxton. So yeah, that's an ominous ending to episode 5. Festive ending with the fireworks, but ominous. And now, so that's episode 5. Now we only have 3 more. 3 more. So I mean, things have got to be heating up pretty quickly. And I think I think this show has strong potential to actually go the distance and get renewed for another season. It's not, to me, it's not looking like they're going to wrap this up at the end of season 1. I'm not sure. I mean, they could, but the conspiracy it's so huge and so complicated, going all the way up to Nixon now, that I don't see them wrapping this up in 3 episodes. I just don't. So yeah, I think there's
maybe they're gonna cliffhang it so they're guaranteed season 2.
maybe they might. So yeah, I think that they're gonna have to. They're hey Miss J's reviews. She says, yeah, I don't see this having a season 2. Oh, I think it will. I heard somewhere that the ratings are good. I don't know where to find the ratings for this, but I heard somewhere that the ratings are good for this. And with Josh Holloway as the star, JJ Abrams as the showrunner, they've got some big names behind it and in it. And I think it's a crowd pleaser. It's doing really well. Like, let me see let me see where it's at Rotten Tomatoes right now. Duster. Because last I checked, it had excellent reviews with the public and the critics. So it's got a 92% rating with the critics, which is excellent. 92% is excellent. Anything over 60% is fresh, meaning good. 84% among audiences. So that's only a little bit of a dip below what the critics are saying. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I think it has legs. I think that they could get to a season 2. And I don't know about beyond that. I'm not sure. I don't know if this concept has the kind of legs to go. I don't think it has enough legs to really be stretched to the point of like a 5-season run. I don't know how they would do that exactly. It's based on this one particular conspiracy and operation against this one mob syndicate. It's not like it's about like a team of FBI agents who investigate different things, and it varies. It's this one particular investigation. It's not a concept that has legs that can go for very long. But I could see it having a season 2. Because right now there's way too much that's still mysterious. There's too much that's up in the air. Like, we just don't know much at all. We don't know what these guys what were these guys talking about in this episode where they were talking about Nixon knows it got lifted or something. No, they didn't say Nixon, but they called him Tricky Dick. Yeah. Tricky Dick knows it got lifted. So that's they said that's really bad. They, that like they're involved somehow in the conspiracy regarding the cover up of Joey's death. This guy from DC and this mysterious guy Xavier, who now we've heard on the phone but we've never seen, and we don't know who he is or what his role is. So there's just way too much to try to break down and uncover in the span of 3 episodes. So the fact that they're taking time to show character drama, like this stuff with Izzy and her boyfriend and Luna, the stuff with like they showed a bit of Awan, that was just random on the Native American tribe reservation. I forget what tribe it was, but we should go see that. Huh?
It was a Navajo reservation, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so there was that. Some guy told him you should go see your dad. Okay. Well, is that gonna be we're gonna be pick up on that? We're gonna be picking up on that again. Why? I don't I think it's just too much. Like, we don't need to give all the side characters their own character drama stuff. Like, I don't need to see what's his name again? Awan. Um I don't need to see him fleshing out stuff on the side. I don't need to see Genesis and her girlfriend. Like, it's just a little too much filler for me. But since they're taking their time with it, and then of course you've got the character drama of the main people, who at least that's more relevant. Like you've got Jim and Izzy, and potentially maybe their daughter. That's very soapy. Like the niece that could be really the daughter. Like that's a soapy kind of piece of character drama. And of course, there's a boyfriend in the picture. So, the fact that they're doing all of this, though, tells me that they're expecting more than one season. If they weren't, they wouldn't be deviating into these character drama, what's the word? Like side quests or tangents, like they would just stick with the main plot line. So I'm guessing the showrunners are confident they're going to get another season, maybe.
Yeah, there isn't enough time, I don't think, to wrap up those side quests, side stories, B plot lines. It's not enough time, I would think. I wouldn't think.
No, it's not enough time.
I have a prediction though. I have a prediction. So we have Elvis's blue suede shoes were involved in the earlier episodes, right?
Mhm.
And you got Nixon, okay? And there's a
Mhm.
famous photo of
I
Elvis
see where you're going.
Yeah, there's a famous photo of Elvis visiting Nixon. So there's got to be some kind of like the end episode ends with that, or there's some kind of conspiracy related to Elvis. Because we went to Elvis's house, but we didn't see Elvis. We see Nixon, and it looks just like him because it's AI. They got to have an AI Elvis or something. And I think the CIA plot line, because of the Michael Crichton book, it's got to be something related to. I think you looked it up, and it was some kind of mind control. So it's got to
Yes.
be some sort of MK Ultra. Maybe there's some sort
Okay, Ultra,
of
yeah.
MK Ultra mind control device, and we're gonna be blown away because this sort of like happy go lucky funny little show is gonna be do something serious, like with mind control.
Mm. Mm.
And also,
Yeah.
and also aliens.
And what?
And aliens.
And aliens.
Maybe mind controlling aliens.
Because the
Yeah.
aliens came and got Elvis.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe mind controlling aliens or yeah, that I forgot about that. There was a book. I don't remember. I wish I remembered the name of the book now. But I do like. I mean, I'm used to dissecting shows like From. So anytime I see anything, any book featured on the screen, prominently featured on camera, I'm gonna look that book up and see if it could have any relevance to the show. So I googled it, and it had something to do with mind control. So I don't remember the name of the book offhand, but because Michael Crichton has a lot of books, and I can Google Michael Crichton, but it's going to come up with like how many how many titles? There's a lot. But yeah, there was one that what's his name? Royce was reading The Terminal Man, I believe it was. Wait a minute, The Terminal Man. Yep, here it is. The Terminal Man. It's about the dangers of mind control. It was published in April 1972, the year that this show is set in, 1972. And was made into a film of the same name. So yeah, so it's about a computer scientist who suffers from epilepsy following a car crash. He often has seizures followed by blackouts. Interesting that it's caused by a car crash, given all the car stuff in the show and the accidents. During these seizures, he severely beats two people. The day before his admission, he was arrested after attacking a third. And then he's a candidate for an operation to implant an electronic brain pacemaker in his brain to control the seizures. And yeah, so ultimately they use that for mind control. Yeah, I
Maybe that's what got lifted.
got lifted. Oh, yeah, something got lifted, right? And Tricky Dick knows about it. That's what we heard in this episode. Something got lifted, and Tricky Dick knows about it, and he was saying we've got a big fucking problem. That's what Nixon said in the beginning. So yeah, maybe some kind of mind control device. Hey, no, it couldn't be that Joey's not really dead. No, there's no way. I just thought of something like it would be a crazy twist if they faked Joey's death and it wasn't really Joey in the car, and like they've got Joey somewhere and they're performing mind control experiments on him. That's a little too out there, but who knows?
I've heard a few theories like that.
Maybe Xavier's real name is Joey.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be crazy. Imagine if Joey's alive. Oh, I would like a twist like that. I would love a twist like that. I just thought of it now. Like, wait a minute.
That
Wait
would
a minute.
that would be a great cliffhanger, right? He's like, "You worried about your brother?" And then he walks in the door.
Oh man, maybe that's why we haven't seen Xavier, because like Xavier is this shadowy figure. We never get to see him. Why is he so mysterious?
He's like, well, you can ask Xavier himself. Here he is. He comes in the door, and then Holloway gives him that look, and he's like, "Joey, dun dun
Oh,
on season 2."
bong. It would
He's
end.
alive.
Wait, Julie, bong.
It's just some severance onto that.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna say Joey's alive. I think that would be really fun. So okay, now I haven't had any inspiration. I've been really struggling trying to get inspiration to make a video. Now I think I got it. I think I got it now. Yeah, because I've been behind on covering this show because I was too busy covering The Handmaid's Tale and The Last of Us. But now we got a late start. I haven't made any videos on this show yet, but now I think I have the beginning of an idea. This would be a great twist if Joey's actually not dead. That could have been an Easter egg thrown in there, that Michael Crichton book, where there is a mind control situation going on, a mind control experiment. And yeah, Carl, that would be a great twist, because you think this show is just a light romp with fun car chases and great music, but it could turn into something more serious and shocking. There could be a shocking twist under the surface.
Yeah, I think that would track, kind of, make it somehow more important at the end, so that pulls you into the next season.
Yeah. I could totally see that happening, because that would pull you into it. That would give more material for another season. I was just talking about how this concept doesn't have a lot of legs. You can only stretch this one investigation so far, but yeah, if you complicate things to that level, and Joey's still alive, like, yeah, I could see this. I could see them expanding it. Either way, this needs to go for more than one season, because they haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the depth of this conspiracy.
Because have we even seen a picture of Joey, other than being a little kid? Have we even seen a picture of Joey?
No, not
So,
that I know of.
so then what you could do, you could introduce, if Xavier's Joey somehow, you could introduce Xavier in one episode, and then in the season finale, you reveal that Xavier is in fact Joey.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Yes, because we could, yeah, they could let us eventually see Xavier close to the end, and then at the very end have Jim recognize him. Jim crosses paths with him, and yeah, that would be an amazing reveal. Because what other, if you think about it, what other reason is there for them to be shrouding this Xavier character in such secrecy? Why do we keep hearing his name, and now we've heard his voice, but we still haven't seen his face, and we've never seen a picture of Joey either as an adult?
Yep. And yeah, and maybe he'll be like, "This is Xavier," and Jim is like, "Joey," and then Xavier looks at him and says, "Who the fuck's Joey?"
Yes.
On.
That's it. Oh,
That's because of all the MK Ultra.
Yes.
Yeah, he won't even know who he is, because he's being controlled by Tricky Dick and the boys at the CIA.
Yes. Oh my God, that would fit so well. That would explain why the FBI and the CIA would want to cover this up so much. Why they don't want this. Why they drugged Breen up out of his mind on LSD in the mental hospital, because he was getting too close to the truth. I'm sure they don't want this uncovered. Because if you think about it, why else would they care? They must have Joey. That the government must have Joey. That's it. I'm convinced. Because why would they care so much? I mean, okay, maybe they took Joey out so that they could eventually take Saxton down because previous raids had always failed. But that would be boring. Honestly, that would be a boring motivation for it. Big deal. The government's trying to set up Saxton so they can finally take him down. So they took Joey out. That's boring. It needs to be something bigger than that. And I think if they have Joey, they abducted Joey, they faked his death, and then they blame it on Saxton. So they kill two birds with one stone. They get a test subject for their MK Ultra experiments. And they also, at the same time, can try to take down this mob kingpin who they've been wanting to get. It's a win-win for the government. And of course, they'd want to cover up how it actually went down and the explosion and all that. So it makes perfect sense. This is the theory I'm going with now. I know what I'm making my video on this week now. Finally, I've got inspiration to do a video, not because I don't want to just do an episode breakdown and shrug at the end and say, I don't know, like I don't know why they're doing this, but yeah, like all along I've had this, this sense of certain intuition about different characters, but not a strong theory yet until now. I'm going with this. And I'm done finally with my final Handmaid's Tale video, so I'll be able to get to work on that and get it out this week. Let me just scroll up and read from the chat before we wrap this up. We're almost at 3 hours, and I do need to get this wrapped up quickly and go do some self-care. But let's see. So what do we have here? What did I miss? Let's see. Please hit the like button, by the way. If you haven't hit that already, please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm at 1.91K right now, and it's screwing with me because it keeps going back and forth between 1.91K and 1,909 subs, meaning the difference of one person. So yeah, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hello, Mr. Grant Gregory. Nice to see you. Oops. Hello. He said that guy has a cool name. What name? What guy? The agent? I don't know. Oh, Grant. Yeah.
Grant.
Oh, yeah. The Grant. Yeah. He says if he's named Grant, he must be awesome. That agent is the real hero of the show. He does have a cool name. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Dieter said it's been an emotional day, hard to keep it up. Well, hang in there, Dieter. You can do this. You can do this. You got this. You got this. You can get through this, and you'll have better days. I'm sure you'll have better days. Hey, K Brew, great episode. Saw it last night. Yeah. It wasn't my favorite. Admittedly, it was not my favorite episode, but I'm still really enjoying the show. It's a great show, even on an off. If it's a little off for me, I'm still enjoying it. Dust mites, Carl. I love the dust mites thing. It's perfect. Yeah, dust mites unite. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that's gotta be. We gotta have some kind of tagline for all the Duster fans.
Yeah, definitely. It's perfect. We struggled with the Severance one, trying to find a Severance fandom name. Some people were using Sevies, but it just doesn't really sound catchy. It's not like Fromily or Fromaholics. Dust Mites is perfect. After at some point, if anybody watches The Handmaid's Tale out there, or if you know someone who does, please pass the video along to someone you know who does watch it, because I'm fighting an uphill battle here. It took me 3 weeks to get this video out, but I worked really hard on it. I wanted to make sure it does justice to this exquisite piece of artwork that The Handmaid's Tale was for 6 seasons. So I really went back through the past episodes, and I discovered, I'm so glad I didn't rush it, because I discovered major references that the finale made to past moments in the show that were memorable and meaningful. They did an amazing job bringing it full circle and doing callbacks two significant moments from the past, and it's really a beautiful epilogue to the series and a great seg to the sequel series, The Testaments. So I went back and I just kind of reflected on the meaning of this series in general and what it's really been all about. It's not just a tale of suffering. It's about what you can do to overcome that and persevere in spite of it and fight for others who are also suffering. It's inspirational. It really is. It's a beautiful work of art. So I just wanted my video to do justice to that. And so that's out now. If you haven't seen it, it's my latest video on the channel. If you don't watch the show, but you want to support, since it's going to be hard for me to get into the algorithm now, a lot of people move on from shows pretty quickly when they're over. You can give the video a view by just viewing it for at least 30 seconds. You don't even have to have the sound on. It still counts as a view if it's 30 seconds or more. If you leave it on for a few minutes, it's better actually for the health of the channel. But even 30 seconds would count as a view. Hitting the like button helps. And another thing you can do is just put a comment in, even just an emoji. That stuff triggers the algorithm and pushes it out to more people who actually do watch the show and would want to watch the video. So it's quite a long watch. It's 41 minutes long, but I worked really hard on it. I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of this amazing show that landed the plane perfectly. Did an amazing job. So that's my final Handmaid's Tale breakdown video that I released yesterday.
It's a great video, Julie. You did a great job. A lot of great insights. Everybody should check it out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, and my next video will be on Duster. So I'm not going to do a breakdown of every episode. I'm way too far behind for that. But I'm going to just do a breakdown of the major points and the theory that I now have brewing in my head on what's going on here. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to get to work on it, hopefully by the end of the week. Ideally, it would be great if I could get it out by Thursday, because the new episode airs Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern is when it drops, the new one, which will be episode 6. So we'll try and do a watch party in the Discord for it. If people want to show up, we could do a watch party when it drops. I'll see if people are interested in doing it, but it drops at 9 p.m. Eastern and I can stream it Thursday. So I am going to try and get a video out before then, but I don't know if I'll make it. We'll see if I'll be able to make it. If I just do a theory video and keep it strictly based on that, I should be able to do it, I think. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you can see when it gets uploaded. Enable all notifications when you tap the bell. Let's see. Teeter's got more AI stuff. JulieBDeepDives takes us on a wild ride through Duster. Insight, fun, and deep analysis every time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment after the stream. Let's ride on. Thanks, Dieter. Yes, another way that you can support is after the stream, you can put a comment in the regular comment section when it opens up. That also triggers the algorithm for this. So that's always a way to help too. K. Bruce said, yeah, maybe Joey's in witness protection, I think you mean. Yeah, very well it could be. So that's a possibility. Yep, I think he's alive. Dieter said if he isn't dead, it seems like we've seen a lot already. Yeah, maybe so, but I think it would be a likely twist. I think it's probably going to happen. He said, I think we'll see more new people the next episodes. Definitely those who had killed Jim's brother. Don't think Sex did it. You do a great job together in the live streams. Thank you. Thanks, Dieter. Interesting. Yeah, I think so. 2K incoming. Well, it might take some time now. I usually gain subs with my scripted videos, not with my live streams. So I've got to get on it and start making Duster videos because that will help. And also, starting next month, I will be covering the Institute. Premieres July 13th. We're going to cover that. And that's a new Jack Bender series. Really exciting. and it's based on a Stephen King book. So I think that's going to be amazing, and that might actually help me get to 2,000 subs. If that show takes off, I will be making, either way, I'm going to be making scripted videos and doing live streams for that. So that might put me over the top. I don't know if Duster will do it, but we'll see.
With the hopes of a special a special dance when you reach 2 grand, propeller or otherwise,
maybe. Yeah.
a performance.
Yeah. I'm no Tony in that regard. I'm not gonna be too wild like that, but he can do him. But yeah, no. All you'll get is a fun celebration stream for me. No wild propeller dance parties or
No ceiling fan finish.
no, no ceiling fan finishing moves or anything like that. But I will do a celebration stream when we reach 2K.
Maybe people submit their finishing moves on that stream.
Yeah, people could do that. We could make it after dark 2K celebration stream. I feel like we just had the 1K stream. It doesn't seem like that long ago, and it really wasn't. It was like last October, November, something like that. So yeah, that I'm psyched. Yeah, we've got just a little more to go. And it might take the Institute to put it over the top. So we might have to wait into July and August. Jay, I'm still early in season 6 of Lost. I think 2 episodes in. I think I've watched like 2 episodes of that. I'm waiting to watch more in watch parties. I'm not watching it by myself. It's more fun with friends, and there are several big Losties in my community. So I didn't have a chance over the weekend, but I'm going to definitely watch more Lost within this next week. If not on a weeknight, then this weekend, watch some more Lost, because it's really fun watching it with friends. And I think I'm like 2 episodes in, so now I've seen Jacob finally, and that's exciting. I'm excited to see more about Jacob. Brain Splitters, Severed Deeps. Yeah, there aren't any really nice, easy nicknames for the Severance fandom. Thanks, Carl, for dropping the link. That's the link to my Handmaid's Tale finale video. And it's not a recap, it's an analysis of that episode and looking back on the series as a whole and the real meaning of it all, the message that's behind it all. So check that out if you haven't already. The Lumen Divers. Yeah, Lumen is pretty good. Innies and Outies Anonymous. Yeah, see, there's nothing that's really nice and succinct that we've hit on other than Sevies, which is just okay for me. For Severance, instead of an innie or an outie, how about tweenies in reference to being in between? Oh yeah, there could be tweenies, like in terms of the show itself. Dieter, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. You said I listen to all the videos even if I don't watch the show. Already played it without listening. Gonna listen again later. Thank you very much. Thank you. That helps. Every view, like, and comment really helps, even if you don't watch the show, just to help me get it into the algorithm to people who do watch the show. Loomies. Yeah, that's one. We could use Loomies, Carl, for Severance. Doc, okay, cool. Doc made a new video. Yeah, share it. You're just about to post it. Oh, so you don't have a link yet. Okay, well, make sure you check out Doc's channel. Our friend Doc here. Doc has a new video he's putting out. He will be joining us again on Friday for FROMacademy, as always. He'll join us around 12:30 a.m. Eastern, but we might start the live a little bit before that. And we'll dive back into the monsters. That's going to be I'm in a lot of pain when I start stuttering. Jesus. We will dive back into the monsters, aka the nightmare creatures, for the 3rd week in our ongoing series on that theme. That's going to go at least 4 weeks total. So this week, next week, however long it takes for us to really do justice to this theme, all the research Doc has done, and all the great theories that are in the fandom for From. So that'll be this Friday at 12:30 a.m. Eastern, but we might start the live a little bit before that and just greet the chat, maybe at midnight. So that's Friday, and yeah, so make sure you subscribe to our friend Doc. Check out his content. Dieter said, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that off stream. And I don't know what, there's nothing Thursday night as far as I know. We're talking about Tuesday night, we're having a watch party for Twin Peaks. And Wednesdays, of course, are oh, and by the way, thank you, Dieter, for making this channel for the Institute. So yeah, we can discuss and share content regarding the new series coming up on July 13th. The Institute, directed by Jack Bender, produced by Jack Bender, I believe, and starring, we don't know who the stars are, but adapted from Stephen King.
I say
So,
starring Jack Bender.
Yeah, not starring Jack Bender. He used to do some acting work, but no. So that's in my Discord already, waiting for the show. And yep. So thank you for sharing the link to Doc's channel. Let's see, where is it? There's the link to Doc's channel right there. If you're listening on the replay, I'll add the link to his channel to the description of the video too. Comedy video for you all. Fake newscast in the style of The Onion. Nice. I love The Onion. Cool. I'll definitely check it out, Doc. And you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm happy to support anything that you've got going on, anything that you want to promote. Just feel free. Drop links, whatever it is. I'm happy to support you any way I can, my friend. Any way at all. And I'm psyched for you working with I forget what the channel is that you're working with, collabing on From Rewatches too. So that's awesome. Anyway, oh yeah, Duster watch party. Yeah, we're probably, I would like to at some point. I don't know what time. I don't know if we'll do it when it drops. We'll probably, if we do a watch party for Duster, it'll probably be at 9 p.m., which that's when it drops. But yeah, if there's enough interest, which there might be, when we've done watch parties, we've done some before where I don't know if there was interest, so we're gonna have to, maybe I'll do a poll in the Discord and see if people want to watch, so that we don't do a watch party for nothing, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see. Hal Preezy Universe, that's it. I can never remember that name. Hal Preezy Universe. Yeah, it's a unique name. That's awesome. I'm so psyched for you, Doc, that you're doing some networking and guesting on other channels. That's awesome. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah, unless you have anything else to add, Carl, about the episode. I think we pretty much covered everything. And Scarlet.
Yeah, I think we hit on all the points and
hit it on all cylinders, perhaps.
Bum. I think that was really cool. We took like 5 minutes and we like theory crafted, and I think you got a good one going on.
Yeah. I have inspiration for a Duster video. Now I've got something to work with here. I'm psyched about this now. Okay. Okay. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me. I gotta go do some self-care, and Scarlet, I'm sure you need to go to sleep.
I gotta go to bed.
Thanks for hanging though.
Everybody. Oh yeah, that was fun.
Thanks for coming.
Good job, Scarlet. Good job.
I stayed up the whole time.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I figured you'd be probably asleep before we even started. We started at 2 a.m.
Well, you have summer. I get a lighter schedule in the summer, so.
Oh, nice. Good. So you can sleep now.
Yeah.
That's good. Good. Okay. Well, they'll appreciate that you could join. That's great. And thank both of you as always. Thank you, Carl. You're amazing. You're a natural at this, and I'm so glad you're on board. So
Thank you, Julie. Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, good night, Scarlet. And oops, my phone just randomly started talking. What the fuck?
It's possessed.
My phone is just sitting next to me and it started talking.
Paranormal activity.
Yeah. It's trying to yell at me to get off the stream, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
It just randomly started playing a video and I didn't even touch it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so sleep well, Scarlet. Have a good day or a good night, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
Get some sleep. Eat something, get some exercise, go to sleep. Sleep for 9 hours.
Yes, I'm gonna try not to sleep for 9 hours again because I've been making progress on trying to fix my sleep schedule, so I've got to get back on that.
Well, then you gotta go sleep right now. Then you get up at 12 or 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't. Now I've got to walk. I've got to walk for an hour before I can sleep, but I'll still make some progress today. I think I'll be able to go to sleep pretty soon. Anyway, have a good day or good night, everybody. Appreciate you guys. And let's see. I guess I'll end with let's see. There was some stuff backstage, but I guess it dropped off when his device got disconnected or something. But that's okay. I can just end with our outro video here. And so anyway, hope everybody has a great day or a good night, and we'll see you next time. Our next live will be Wednesday, by the way, I haven't asked Doug officially, but I did I kind of unofficially said, hey, do you think you will want to join us Wednesday again? He said, yeah, I've got nothing going on. So I think we can pretty much guarantee it almost 100%. So we can do a live with Doug. We'll do another story time with Doug at 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday night. I'll verify the time with him. If he needs it to be 9:30 p.m. again, I'll make an announcement on YouTube. Last week, we adjusted the time for him. So we'll let you know. We'll do another story time with Doug Hughes, have some more fun conversations with him. I figure we don't know how much longer we're going to have him be able to join as a guest. From what I'm hearing, From is going to be shooting very soon. And in the meantime, if I have to pick between the From rewatch and hanging out with Doug, doing that ongoing segment with Doug, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what we should do. We have loads of time for the rewatch, loads of time before the next season comes, and we can pick that up any old time. I love doing it, but I can't do both right now because I don't have a working treadmill. If I did, I could just stream on the treadmill and keep it going longer, but sadly, I have to pick one or the other until I have a treadmill that works. And if Doug's available, then I think we should keep that segment going as long as we can. We always have so much fun having him on as a guest. Grateful that he's a part of this community, and everyone in the chat loves it. So yeah, we'll be doing that most likely 10 p.m. Eastern Wednesday night. That will be our next live. And we'll talk some From theories with him too. She'll share more stories. We'll talk theories. It'll be another good time. Bye, Jeter. And I will check in with you in a little while, okay? Hang in there. Hang in there. All right. That's my official sign off now. I say goodbye like 5 different times, and then I think of something else I forgot to add. So that's it now. I think I covered everything. Watch out for my duster video, hopefully by Thursday or at least the end of the week. And we'll see you on the next live. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. That's a theory creaking open, baby. Yo, welcome to the screen where the plot gets bent. Julie B deep dives, not just for content. She don't react, she dissects those threads from the lens. Catching clues y'all missed when the credits end. What you know about freeze framing frames and while you blinking, she building an evidence drum. Got a notebook thicker than the lore itself. In a chat full of nerds with a mental health shelf. Yeah, she sees the glitch, peep the double cross. You just watching TV, she talk to the boss. Every theory and thesis, no throwaway guess. While y'all on season 1, she in season X. Said rewind this slow it, zoom in enhance. Julie B caught the symbol in the window glance. While you tweeting what just happened like a clown, she already made a flow chart, color coded breakdown.
They don't die like us, they don't vibe like us. They binge and they bounce, we revive that trust. They skip intros, we every frame. You watch shows, we decode the game. They don't die like us, nah, they don't die like us.
She cracked Severance before y'all knew it was deep. Predicted the Last of Us deaths in her sleep. When the camera pans, she ain't blinking once. Catch a ghost in the glass, call it theory punch. Watch parties lit like apocalypse nights. Call-ins while they bringing alien rights.
Hey Julie, I think the trees are spies. Well, I have a spreadsheet that confirms that, guys.
Zoom in, boom in, she moving through clues. Spinning Discord in the courtrooms, Lord of views. Got miles of receipts, timestamps with heat. Every rewatch turns into a Reddit elite. You stuck on the surface, we beneath with maps. Cross-referencing lore with the rector's caps. If your fave show got secrets, don't be dumb. Julie got the chalkboard out in From's where it's from.
They don't dive like us, they don't vibe like us. They skim the edge, we inside that crust. They zone out, we zone in the pain. You say plot twist, we say nope, chain. They don't dive like us, nah, they don't dive like us.
What's that?
That ain't a blooper, that's a plot thread. You thought it was a shadow? She thought it was a coded message from season 3. And she's probably right. Step this way if your mind's unbent. Step that way if your theories pay rent. Say Julie B, deep dive queen. Now zoom, scroll, theorize, pull. Ain't no rabbit hole safe once she got the cloud.
They don't